The fact that 2015 was 10 years ago makes me want to swallow a bullet.
Yeah.
I feel too old.
It's a bit mind-blowing when you put it on paper like that.
I have always been the youngest person in the group of people that I associate with,
Mhm.
almost exclusively. There have been a couple people who are about exactly my age, but my friends have always been Alistair's friends. They've always been friends of my brother, and my brother is 4 years ahead of me. So that is the group. Like middle school, all my friends were in high school, and I would go through my day in middle school dealing with middle schoolers, and then I would get out and I would go hang out with high schoolers. So it's always been weird. But now I'm so fucking old that it doesn't, like, there was a guy at my job who I found out the other day is like 21.
Wow.
Yeah. And I fought so hard to be like, go fuck yourself, which is why I've begun to concoct potions to steal youth.
Oh, that's, I've seen movies about that.
Yeah, but it's not working.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have any other cool side effects? Are you becoming like invisible or something?
No, it's mostly just fruit juice and rat poison. I'm very sick to my stomach. In fact, I'm gonna leave. Last week, our episode, and I don't know if you guys have realized the brilliance of Derek Rosenberg, but last week, our episode came out on Black Friday. The film, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, begins on Black Friday. Here we are again. I don't mean to spoil too much, but here we are again. A film that begins on Black Friday.
You know, I thought that.
Is that not the case?
I guess not, because that's what I've been thinking this entire time. I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense thematically. Krampus, the opening credits are during Black Friday. But then they immediately go home, and the following day is the 23rd of December.
Okay, so it's just more of a every day is Black Friday?
Yeah.
Well, so
which is the world we live in now.
Well, so that's actually funny because the last episode, our cold open, was about Thanksgiving traditions. So today I want to tackle Black Friday.
Okay.
Because I think Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's interesting to see the rise and fall of that. Because you and I, when this film came out, you and I worked in a mall. We worked in an Apple store at the mall. And so it was interesting because we worked through retail really at the height of Black Friday, when stores were starting to open on Thanksgiving and things got really crazy. We mentioned that in last week's episode, but I've noticed now it's basically dead.
Yeah. And I think you said it last week, and I do agree. I think COVID had a big deal to do with that.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also, I think that we hit a moment of like, we sat around and looked at each other and went, what are we doing? Let's celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
And then also, I think retailers have gone, well, people aren't even necessarily like coming out and going to the stores.
Right. It's the zenith of online shopping and how easy that is. Yeah. I find that, so obviously, I don't know that your family does that. My family does not do Black Friday at all.
No, we've never, like, we typically, whenever I was growing up, like my mom would sit around and kind of look at the ads and stuff on Thanksgiving and be like, okay, well, what's on sale tomorrow? And I'm sure when we were little kids, before the craze really happened, she would go out and hit a couple stores here and there. But the closest I've ever come to that is more of, since living in Tampa, there was a couple years where like I got up super early and went to like a comic book shop.
Okay.
Like on their Black Friday.
Like a really niche thing. Yeah. What's funny is I did that as well this weekend. I took advantage of Trick or Treat Studios' Black Friday special to get John Carver's mask. Welcome to a merry fucking episode of the Third Channel Podcast,
where we delve into the horror franchises you love from the perspectives of a lifelong horror fan
and a newbie to the genre. I'm PJ Claus.
And I'm Derek.
And today, the only thing we're here to talk about is horror clopping on the rooftop. This horror is one in the beginning of a long planned franchise from Universal. Krampus. Yeah, the next, obviously, in the franchise is Michael Dougherty's Krampus versus Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Fans will come to refer to it as Sampus.
Right? Uh-huh.
Or Cramhain. Cramwen. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's a stupid joke.
Yeah, we'll punch it up in post.
Yeah. We are here to talk about Krampus.
Yes.
A wonderful, wonderful movie that teaches you that now that you are an adult and you no longer believe in Santa Claus, your days are fucking numbered. Man, what an incredible...
Is that what we learned?
That's what I took away from it.
Okay.
It's an incredible movie. It is an odd movie to discuss where we're discussing it because a lesser podcast would have released this as their Christmas episode.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but we are not a lesser podcast in spite of the fact that I just said Krampus and then had to replace that. It's Krampus. It's close enough.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. No, because our Christmas episode obviously is going to be another bit about the thing, but changing it moderately. Like things miss or something. Yeah, I had a great time rewatching this movie.
Same.
I have a great time watching this movie every time. Obviously, as we always say, just to get these things out of the way, number one, like, subscribe, please. Number two, thank you for tuning back in.
Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And hope you're enjoying the start of your like holiday season.
Yeah. We hope that you watch this movie first. And if you don't, that's also fine, but don't be upset when we spoil things. And lastly, milestone, we hit 1,000 view hours,
I guess,
on YouTube, which is great. Well, you guys keep surpassing our expectations, and you make us feel less amateur and more like this is worth something every day. So Merry Christmas to you and yours. Happy Hanukkah, all the other holidays, happy whatever. And remember, there is no such thing as a war on fucking Christmas. And if there is, it's being fought by Krampus.
Wow. Yeah, we got there.
Yeah.
Any housekeeping this week?
I don't think so.
I think we're good. I will say I will make the one bit of housekeeping that I will make.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it out loud, you mentioned YouTube. One of our listeners who I absolutely know listens on YouTube. I want to make a quick correction. Because like we said, it was an honor to have me mispronounce your name.
Right.
And boy, did I. So at Von Clote is how you actually pronounce it.
Okay.
Not Cleot, like I said.
Okay.
He just wanted to let me know that.
Now remember, in Prince of Darkness, you said that you mispronounced names on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. Cleote, that's me doing it now. Deal with it.
But no, I really like this guy. He's got some really cool art. You should go and check it out.
Great.
TV Artworks, I believe, is his handle on Instagram.
Very cool. I have no housekeeping. The only thing that I will say is that if you're out there and you're listening and you know where my family is, please return them.
Are you speaking to Krampus in that moment?
No, they were taking a black bag while I was at the store when we were putting up. Oh, I didn't mention that in the cold open.
No, you didn't.
They were absconded with.
Oh, wow.
They're probably dead. Another oddity in the sense that I watched this before all of this. I watched this in a way that is incredibly familiar to a story that you told a little while ago.
Okay.
It didn't even register when you told me this. When I saw this film, it was playing at a party.
Interesting.
It was in a room. It was just kind of like, ambient noise. It was a bunch of alt people. And so instead of putting on like a Yule log or whatever, they threw on Krampus. And I started watching the movie when the cousins and the uncle and that family visits. And it registered so strongly with me in my experience in life. I was like, oh, that's funny. And then I started watching it and I just couldn't stop watching it. So that whole party, I just sat in that fucking room. And like people were playing games. There was a bonfire. People were doing all kinds of shit. And I just sat on the fucking couch and watched this entire movie.
Okay. That I'm happy to hear because I hope Now I want to hear your experience. Did you know, like, whenever you looked at the TV and that was happening, did you know what the movie was? Like, did you know what it was called or anything?
No, I knew what it was called because it was on Blu-ray and the case was sitting. So it's Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know what the movie was about entirely,
Right.
but I know enough of like the legend through like Hellboy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I know enough of the legend of Krampus by that point that because I think it was like 2019, like somewhere before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew enough about what that was to have a basic understanding. I did not know it would be such like it would be so horror skewed. But by the time shotguns are going off and like Howard gets his leg like gets dragged into the snow, I was like, oh shit. I like leaned forward and I was like, this is not what I expected at all. But yeah, that was the first time I watched this movie. I think the second time when we watched it, however, a couple years ago, I got to spend a lot more time with it and kind of see the setup. And so it made more sense by the end of that.
Okay. I love that because that is exactly what they kind of set out to do. Their whole point with the way that this movie is structured is that they wanted the first act to be just a Christmas movie.
It feels that way. Yeah.
And then the horror shows up.
The only thing that beats that to the punch is Omi's dead eyes.
Yeah.
It's her whole shtick. It's just like, lady, what the fuck do you know?
Something's going on over there.
Yeah.
No, that's so funny. The example that you just rattled off is almost verbatim what they were like in some of the special features on the Shout Factory Blu-ray. They talk about, I think it's one of the producers or writers talk about like they hoped that maybe one day people would be flipping through channels on cable and they would catch it like just after the beginning.
Yeah.
And they'd go, oh, this looks like a Christmas movie I've never watched before. And then they'd settle in.
Well, it's also the actors that you have because like the mom is obviously like, and I know she's been in a lot, but she is one of the more famous like horror actors, especially now after Hereditary.
Yeah.
But everybody else is just like they have the fucking the housekeeper from 2.5 Men in this. There's somebody from Anchorman and somebody from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, no, it's great. And it was so once it makes the turn.
Yeah.
And like when you go into the attic, I was so floored. And like there is food and my closest friends are all sitting around laughing. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm too embedded into this. And It was great. It was a good experience.
My first experience, I'm like kind of racking my brain about, because this came out in 2015, around the holiday season. But I don't believe I saw this one in theaters, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say, which means I would have caught it like maybe the following year on DVD or something.
Okay.
Pretty sure I probably watched it with my friends Danny and Ryan. We used to do for several years. We used to do something we'd call Macabre Movie Monday.
Cool.
Where we would watch a horror movie on Monday nights. And this was probably one of those, if I'm not mistaken. My recollection of this is I didn't love this movie the first time I watched it.
Really?
It was one of those things where I think I wanted it to be more horror than it was. And like, this is a very fun movie.
Yeah.
And so like watching it the first go round, I was just kind of like, is that it? And then every year that I watch it again, every time that I watch this again, I love it more and more and more.
Which is funny because the horror that this movie does have, it's not as tear you apart as like Terrifier or more very straightforward like slashery or more horror movies. Even like Trick or Treat has a bit like an element like especially like the kids in the quarry and whatnot. There is a more straightforward element of horror in that. But I like the horror in this because you have to separate yourself from watching a movie and put yourself on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That you are there and these things begin to happen. It's like one of the more horrifying things imaginable. The toys are eating the kids. It's fucking awful.
Yeah. And I think that's it is like, it's closer to a horror comedy. And
it's like a black comedy Christmas movie. It's like a Black Christmas.
Yeah.
In a way.
If you had to put it into a term.
Now, what I do want to do is I want people to comment after this, and I want you to let me know what Christmas movie you prefer. Is it Black Christmas or is it Krampus? Of the two Christmas movies that we've talked about on this show
so far,
which one feels to you your preferred Christmas horror movie? Hashtag ET. No, you don't have to do hashtags. Just let us know. We're interested.
Yeah. It's both of these are kind of staples for me.
Yeah, big time.
And we talked about that with during our Thanksgiving chat of like Michael Dougherty comes out of the park just swinging twice and just here's a Halloween classic and here's a Christmas classic. You can watch it every year, guys.
Yeah, and we'll get more into his like hand, but I will say I think that with Trick or Treat and with Krampus, he has made the definitive holiday movie. For Christmas, that's easy. Mm-hmm. Get a lot of bullshit horror movies that come out, Silent Night, Deadly Night, whichever else. You have a lot of bad ones that come out for Christmas.
Yeah, and a lot of those boil down to a slasher dressed as Santa.
Or actual evil Santa.
Yeah.
It's as old as evil Superman. Who cares anymore? But then this one is so unique and so different. But then Halloween, to make like the definitive Halloween movie. It feels Halloween-ish. Mm-hmm. It is like picture perfect. He's so popular. So like, yeah, Michael Dougherty's great. Krampus. You don't want to be on his list. When his dysfunctional family clashes over the holidays, young Max is disillusioned and turns his back on Christmas. Little does he know, this lack of festive spirit has unleashed the wrath of Krampus, a demonic force of ancient evil intent on punishing non-believers. See? Non-believer. The second you're like, man, Santa Claus doesn't fucking exist, you get literally dragged to hell by a giant goat man.
Just the way, that everyone would want it.
Just the way that God intended.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my son's birthday. I got to make a goat man who wears a face and he punishes the wicked. Not even the wicked. That's the thing. None of these people are inherently bad.
No, just people who like their faith wavers that much.
No, but it's the kid.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to torture and kill an entire family on Christmas Day because this kid doesn't believe in Santa Claus.
Well, and we have to imagine more than just that family, because whenever they go over to the boyfriend's house, the same sort of thing has also happened there.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever count all those fucking snow globes at the end?
There's a lot.
You know that thing that's like $1 equals one prayer?
Mm-hmm.
One snow globe equals one tortured family.
Apparently, Michael Dougherty's like family home growing up is in one of those snow globes.
That's great.
There's a bunch of little like Easter eggs like that, but it's very difficult to find pictures of them online from what I've seen.
You know what I'm remembering in this moment? The people that took my family were like kind of dressed in furs and like creepy holy shit, is my family's house in there?
Probably.
Did I stop believing?
That's what it gets you.
Oh, God.
Krampus was released December 4th of 2015. It's directed by Michael Dougherty. It's written by Todd Casey, Michael Dougherty, and Zach Shields. It's produced by Thomas Tull, John Joshney, Alex Garcia, and Michael Dougherty. The cinematographer is Jules O'Loughlin, who had done a 2011 movie called Sanctum, which I've never seen, but it was shortly after the first Avatar movie. James Cameron produced it, and it's a cave diving movie that was shot with like his 3D cameras.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a weird one. Also the cinematographer on The Hitman's Bodyguard in 2017, Angel Has Fallen in 2019, and then an action comedy from 2021 called Jolt. The editor, John Axelrad, he had done a movie called Alien Fury, Countdown to Invasion, which was directed by Rob Heder, who did Jason Takes Manhattan.
Okay.
He did Boogeyman, which is a 2005 horror film that takes place on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those, like, if you looked at my Thanksgiving list of horror films, it's on there because it's a movie that you don't necessarily think of as a holiday movie, but it technically takes place over the Thanksgiving holiday. Slither, the James Gunn 06 monster movie.
Okay.
And then The Messengers in 07, which was produced by Sam Raimi. The budget for this film was $15 million, and it brought in a box office of $61.5 million.
That is very successful.
Yes.
15 million is a huge surprise.
I mean, the budget for Trick or Treat was 12, and then it didn't really get a real release, so there's not like a box office
But
go.
Trick or Treat is a lot like cinematically, it's a lot less ambitious. That's 50 million is surprising.
Yeah. The director, writer, producer, Michael Dougherty, as we've talked before, he wrote and directed Trick or Treat, Krampus, and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Those are his only directing credits so far.
Wow.
He's got more producing and writing credits out there. We spoke about that on Trick or Treat. The writer, Todd Casey, has done a lot of animation, especially like DC animation.
Awesome.
Green Lantern, Emerald Knights, which was a 2011 animated movie.
I fucking love that movie.
He worked on 9 episodes of Batman Brave and the Bold, which is an animated series that I haven't watched, but I've heard very good things about.
It's much more kid-centric, but it introduces a lot of stuff that mainstream like comic book stuff wouldn't do.
Oh, okay.
I think it's either the first or the second animated appearance of Plastic Man, like just weird shit like that.
Yeah, all that weird shit I love. And then he wrote 22 episodes of Star versus the Forces of Evil, which is a show, I think it was on Cartoon Network. I haven't seen, but you know, I'm sure there's people who watch that.
Yeah.
One of the other writers, Zach Shields, did the screenplay and story for Godzilla King of the Monsters and the story for Godzilla vs. Kong with Michael Dougherty. The producer, Thomas Tull and John Joshney, were the executive producers on Trick or Treat, Pacific Rim, Godzilla, As Above, So Below, Crimson Peak, Kong Skull Island, Pacific Rim Uprising, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla X Kong. So they've worked with Dougherty on a bunch of things.
I wonder if that's where he gets his intro into that franchise.
Possibly. And a lot of those are made by Legendary Films. So the other producer, Alex Garcia, was the executive producer on Trick or Treat, and then also worked on the Monsterverse movies as well as The Toxic Avenger, the latest one that came out in theaters this year.
Yeah.
The music, again, is done by Douglas Pipes. He'd also done the music on Monster House, Trick or Treat, and a couple other things. The Babysitter, which was a 27 horror comedy. He describes the music as a collection of, quote, twisted Christmas carols with pagan thrown in. He incorporated sounds of chains, bells, bones, and animal skin drums into the score, as well as choir chants and whispers in different tongues to give it that kind of like otherworldly, but also kind of a tangible feel to it as well.
Yeah, I see that. It is like an uncanny valley almost of like they'll do Christmas carols but with minor keys instead, and it sounds so bizarre, and it also you don't pick up on it at first, but it gives what would normally, like, you can go, oh, something's about to happen, because and you don't know exactly why immediately. Yeah, the score in this is brilliant.
Yes, and even like from the very jump, you start with the Legendary and the Universal Pictures logos are all frozen over, but the wind that whistles through that is done by a choir. Like a lot of the noises in there is like actual people with their mouths making those noises. Cool. So it gives it a different, like you said, it feels off.
Yeah, the mouth noises makes a lot of sense when you think about the Deep Throat scene.
Right.
With Dirk Clown.
Yeah, I got what you meant.
Swallows someone.
Yeah. A kid.
It gulks them. That's a phrase I didn't think I'd ever get to use again.
Wow. Yeah. The monsters from the north.
Yeah, it gulks them down into its gullet. Fuck it. Let's keep going.
That was close. Michael Dougherty had always wanted to do a scary Christmas movie, but the idea didn't really take shape until his friends sent him an e-card that featured the Krampus like creature. And he said that it was, quote, love at first sight. But the project would not be fleshed out until 2011, at which point he teamed up with Zach Shields and Todd Casey to figure out what the story might be. But even after that, it took several more years to get the ball really rolling here, or the bell rolling, if you will.
That's good.
The production on this film began in 2014. Dougherty set to direct and writing a new screenplay with Shields and Casey. The original outlines for the movie felt, quote, too much like a horror movie and relied on Krampus like picking people off throughout the entire town. They had eventually brought it forward into like more of a Christmas movie involving a child's wish that then led the family into the darkness. Principal photography on the film began in March and wrapped in May of 2015. 95% of this movie was shot on a soundstage, besides one day of shooting in New Zealand at a department store for the opening credit sequence.
Why was that New Zealand?
Because all of this movie is shot in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Weta, who does, which I'll go into in just a second.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I love the look of the movie because of these, like, being on a soundstage. It gives the movie a very specific look and feel, almost artificial at times.
Yeah, but for the most part, like, especially when you go to the boyfriend's house, whose name is Derek.
Yeah.
When you go there, it feels very soundstagey, but like ultimately, I think the house feels very real.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not saying like it feels fake as much as there's just moments that I think in a weird way thematically, once you realize, oh, they are trapped in this situation,
Yeah,
that it makes sense of the artificiality of the whole thing.
well, and whatever the aunt's name is at one point says like it feels like Martha Stewart threw up in here, and they do a very good job of it does look too perfect that it's like Stepford almost, that it's polished, and I think that's probably only possible with a soundstage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention, if they shot in a real house, it wouldn't be near as unreasonably big enough.
True.
Yeah.
True. It needs that.
They wouldn't have an attic the size of a 2-car garage.
Yeah. The goal of the film was to tell a modern day morality tale using the Krampus tradition. And it was in part of a response to today's like kind of defanged retellings of classic tales that come from, you know, Disney and other companies out there. According to Michael Dougherty, this is a Christmas film that is both scary and sentimental. He says things like A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life are nightmares that show you these broken characters who experience a darker side of divine intervention, and they have to be scared straight to come out on the other end. Michael Dougherty describes the Krampus in this film as Santa Claus's shadow. Quote, he's not the unstoppable monster that kicks down your door and rampages and grabs you. There's something darkly playful about him, and he's having a really good time doing what he does.
That's my favorite part of the movie, yeah.
Yeah. It works super well in everything that this movie's doing.
It's just a bunch of demons playing dress up.
Mhm.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Those demons, the creature effects were made by Weta Workshop. That's a creative company based in New Zealand. They specialize in concept design, special effects, and prop work. Peter Jackson films, they've worked on pretty much everything. Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead, Dead Alive, Heavenly Creatures, The Frighteners, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, King Kong, The Lovely Bones, The Hobbit trilogy. But they've also done work on Hellboy, you mentioned, Van Helsing, the Avatar films, and then all the legendary Godzilla films, as well as X, Pearl, Maxine, Dune, Megan 2.0, and most recently, Alien Romulus and Predator Badlands.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then after Romulus, they worked on Alien Earth, the TV show. I only know that because I asked you and you confirmed that they did. The reason, you and I watched a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff for Alien Earth.
Oh, right.
And they show how the xenomorph that we kind of follow, because we follow kind of one xenomorph in a lot of it. Yeah. And they show how there is a guy in the suit and the way the suit works and the way that they built all these heads and stuff. And then we're watching the behind the scenes for Krampus today, and we're watching how Krampus is a puppet that a person wears like a suit. Like Belle compared it to Big Bird.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no way they didn't do both. Like, it's so practical. They're like such a name in practical monsters. I fucking love the things that they created in this movie. Are wonderful, wonderful effects.
It's a strong point because so much of this movie is absolutely practical.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that they worked on Badlands.
But then Weta also has another division as well that does digital stuff. So
okay.
So they
like
do
ILM.
both. Exactly.
Okay.
They do both physical and digital effects.
Very cool.
The film was originally scheduled to be released on November 25th of 2015, but was moved to December 4th to be closer to the December 5th date, which is Krampusnacht.
Fantastic.
Krampus is for anyone who doesn't know, is a horned anthropomorphic figure from the ancient like Alpine European folklore. It's originally said to accompany St. Nicholas to visit the children during the night of December 5th, Krampus night or Krampusnacht. That falls immediately before the feast of St. Nicholas on December 6th. The tradition is that St. Nicholas rewards good children and Krampus punishes badly behaved children.
Right.
With switches or taking them away in a big sack that he carries on his back.
Yeah, I don't think it's a leap to say that St. Nicholas gives gifts and little treats to the well-behaved children, and Krampus beats them and drags them to hell.
Yeah.
The incentive to be a good kid in like ancient Germanic culture, way over the top.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, if it starts to snow and you've been a prick, say goodbye to your family. But if you're good, you get a Danish.
Yeah.
Like, yay.
I'll take it.
I'll take the Danish. Please don't hit me, Krampus.
Very, very recently, 2021, a unrated extended version of the film called The Naughty Cut was released by Shout Factory. It only runs about 4 minutes longer than the theatrical. And what's interesting about this is like a lot of times you hear unrated cut or director's cut and you think, oh man, there's going to be extra gore and violence or nudity or whatever. And it's like, no, this is a PG-13 horror movie to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And so what it really adds is a couple extra lines from Aunt Dorothy that are a little more colorful in language.
Yeah.
And then what I like even more is you get these scenes that I think were just kind of cut for time more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll point them out as we go through. And you get a couple nods to Trick or Treat that weren't in the theatrical cut.
Yes, you do.
Those are things that I absolutely love. So I do prefer the naughty cut of this film, but I think 4 minutes of difference isn't enough. This movie rocks either way.
Yeah, it is. It is so definitive of the season, of his work. And the other thing is definitive of is, again, if you like, I don't know, let's say you file your taxes a day late. Let's say you do anything. Understand your life is over and Krampus is going to absolutely whip you, probably in the nuts, with an old stick he found outside. And then he's going to throw you into the pit, the fiery pits of hell.
I knew St. Nicholas was not coming this year. Instead, it was a much darker, more ancient spirit. The shadow of St. Nicholas. It was Krampus. And as he had for thousands of years, Krampus came not to reward, but to punish. Not to give, but to take. He and his helpers. I could only listen as they dragged my family into the underworld, knowing that I would be next. But Krampus didn't take me that night. He left me as a reminder of what happens when hope is lost, when belief is forgotten, and the Christmas spirit dies.
When the Christmas spirit dies, your family dies. But my favorite aspect about this movie, my favorite element about this movie in its entirety is the idea that if you stop doing the Christmas thing, the Hallmark sort of Christmas family thing, you suffer and die. It's just like, Michael, what was your family life like? Oh, man.
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? This movie opens exactly the same way as Thanksgiving does. There's a crowd outside. They're all in Boston. It's Santa Claus is coming to town is the song, I believe.
Yeah.
And we pan through this, I think it's called like Right Mart or something. It's a fictional Kmart or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Because Right Mart was from Thanksgiving.
Was it? Oh,
yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, we pan through Right Mart.
Uh-huh.
And it's what I said in the cold open. There are people fighting over toys. One of my favorite shots of the entire intro is these people checking out at these registers, and there's just these dead-eyed fucking people handing money and just staring at the total. And then there's this excellent shot of this woman looking down at the total and like clutching her temples like, oh fuck.
Which I think this whole opening sequence is like, it perfectly sets up the theme of what has the holidays become.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
Of like, yeah, it's just consumerism. It's just capitalism. It's just us fighting over things that we don't need and spending money that we don't have.
Yeah. Two weird things about this. One of them, not plot related. One of them, super plot related. Why is the Santa Claus that the kids are like, they're like kids crying on the lap? Why is he so sleepy?
I don't know.
There are these kids crying and getting their photos taken, which is a classic. But then it comes to the Santa, and the Santa is like, his eyes are half closed, and he's just like super lounged all the way back, and he's just like, I've had so many cookies.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume like he's had a really long shift.
My advanced diabetes has done this because I keep eating the cookies.
My doctor says I shouldn't, but I'm Santa. It's my whole thing. I'm a method actor, Doc. You don't understand.
Stomach is just covered in insulin bruises. Like I keep having to take it. The other weird thing, and this is plot related, is that as the camera pushes through this, basically this Kmart, you go through these curtains in the back of the Kmart, and there's a big room where there's a bunch of people, and the school that Max, the main child character, his school is putting on a Christmas recital in the Kmart.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Because I didn't pick up on that until this watch of like, oh, this isn't a different location.
Right. It's because at the end you pull back out of those curtains into the store.
And at first I was like, oh, is it like, because, okay, a long time ago, I did like chorus for my elementary school. And we would like, they did the same thing every year. Your chorus would go, and it was like middle school. So it's the 3 grades. And you would do like, we went to Hyde Park in kind of South Tampa, and we performed in front of whatever, it's gone now, but whatever that business was, they put up the stage, they put up the money and sponsored it. And so local schools performed a number there. But like, that's tantamount to like me in middle school going and singing in Costco, having a chicken bake and buying 60 pounds of Dungeness crab for $1.50.
Yeah. I can't wait. We should go to the IKEA this year and see the Christmas pageant there.
Talk about our friendship.
Yeah. Definitely talk about our friendship.
Now when we go to IKEA, we can do show notes. That's more interesting.
Yeah.
Than just being like, we still friends?
Yeah, I think we're all right.
All right, good.
No, you need to do better.
Oh, God. I do it.
I love the opening. It's all shot in slow-mo. It's exaggeration over exaggeration, but only so much.
Yeah, it's what we talked about last week. It's, you know, the Thanksgiving intro of that Black Friday massacre feels exaggerated, but then you read stories and it's like, no, all of these things have happened. People have been trampled to death. People have been like stabbed and cut by glass, run down by their fellow man. So it's like, yeah, a fight breaking out in like a Kmart over toys and shit. And none of that is exaggerated too much anymore. The exaggeration, though, is that apparently, because in the slow-mo, as they push into this weird back room of this Kmart where there's a recital going on, there is a fight between 2 middle school kids, Max, our main character, and another, he's named, but I don't really think you get a good look at him. He's beating the shit out of this kid, though. And he says, when they get home, he says that he was telling everyone that Santa's not real, and he was, quote, bad-mouthing Christmas.
Yes.
This kid fucking loves Christmas.
Yeah. Max Engel is played by MJ Anthony. He was in the 2014 Jon Favreau film Chef.
That is where I fucking know him.
Okay.
I have been racking my brain. There was a Netflix series called The Chef Show, and it was Jon Favreau and the chef that taught John how to cook for that movie. And it's kind of based off that guy's life. And they would cook with different celebrities. They had like Dave Filoni on during the Mandalorian shooting. They had a bunch of people, but I really liked that show. So it drove me to watch that movie. He's great in that. That kid's great in that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. He's also in the Divergent series Insurgent from 2015.
No idea.
Haven't seen those movies. He's in a supernatural horror film in 2016 called Incarnate and a 2018 sci-fi thriller called Replicas. Nothing I've seen. He's a good little lead in this.
He's great.
Yeah.
He is probably, because he is the only person I think that isn't meant to play to some sort of exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the only character that's meant to be exactly a believable character.
Yeah.
Even like Tom, the dad, is like, he works all the fucking time and he's disconnected and he's drinking alone upstairs and is like sad and bitter. And everybody is just a bit of an exaggerated character, but he's straight down the middle.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
The only exaggerated thing about Max is that he loves Christmas.
He loves it.
And if you don't love Christmas, he will kick your fucking... Who does that remind you of? This kid is Krampus. You don't like Christmas? Dig, dig, bitch.
That's what this movie should have been. It should have been Krampus like taking him under his arm,
Oh, dude, that would have been great.
training him up to be the next Krampus.
Yeah. Krampus. I was trying to come up with like a Krampus Stuart Little, but I couldn't figure it out.
His dad, Tom, is played by Adam Scott. Adam Scott, for some genre things that he's been in. He is in Hellraiser Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
He's in
I knew he was in one of them. I couldn't remember what the name was.
He's in
I forgot that he's in the past. That's right. Oh, I'm so happy.
we will get to talk about that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, that was Bloodline.
No, but it comes with the rest of the franchise.
Right. He's also in Star Trek First Contact. He was in Piranha 3D in 2010, and he was in a Netflix horror film in 2017 called Little Evil. His wife, Sarah, is played by Toni Collette. She has been in The Sixth Sense, the M. Night Shyamalan film. She was in the 2011 remake of Fright Night, which I really love. She's in Hereditary, like you mentioned, from 2018, and she's in Guillermo del Toro's 2021 Nightmare Alley.
She's also wonderful in this. So I think that's something that we should get out of the way immediately. Most movies, there's like the nitpick performance, or in a lot of our movies, there's like, this guy's really good. Everybody else is meh. Everyone in this movie is a perfect cast.
Yes.
Every single character in this movie is great. Even like the ugly kid is like perfect for what they needed.
Yeah. I agree. And we have our main cast, but it's like, that's it. Like, you don't really add anybody else. It all takes place within this one house on this one street.
Yeah.
In this neighborhood. And
the only time we see people that aren't the cast of the film are the extras in the beginning sequence. That's
pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, they get home and they're fighting. I love it should be a throwaway line. It shouldn't matter, but I love Adam Scott. I am a huge Parks and Rec fan. And then I think both of us are big fans of Severance. And he, not Parks and Rec, but Severance, he carries that first season on his fucking shoulders. Yeah. Everyone's good in that show, but he is just tremendous. But they walk into the house and it's like they're in the middle of a conversation and Max is being scolded by Tom. And he's like, and you're also going to write an apology letter to your entire class. And it's like, he's not raging, but he's like, it's very believable dad shit. Yeah. Like it works really well for me. He's a very good dad character. Tom is like Adam Scott's performance there is one of my absolute favorites in the whole movie. He has these moments just that you're watching him silently come to terms with what is going on out there. And then the turn that he's having to make of going from like meek mannered to like, no, I now have to lead. A shepherd protects his flock. It's a weird thematic thing throughout the movie. He is like at one point here in this opening sequence, he takes a call from someone. The mother says, what is that? Sarah? Yeah. Sarah says, I thought you said you weren't going to work. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm not going into the office or traveling, but I got to make some calls. And it's like, okay, now we know who you are. Yeah. You're a good dad, but you're gone all the time and you work all the time. You're a workaholic. Great. Yes. And Sarah is, the mother who is trying to bring all these people together and she does everything in her power to make their lives kind of look picturesque as she like hangs the new family portrait up on the wall that they take every year with Santa. Oh my God. And she reminds me so much of my own mother. And I think this is why I relate to these characters so much is because Tom, My dad didn't work a lot like that. He had business trips a lot. He'd have to go to Philly or different places where his companies were located. He got to take me along with him and my brother along, and it was a lot of fun. But it wasn't so much that he was working all the time. He was very passionate about his work. He still is. He still does the same. He still has the same career. But that is how he would handle us having misbehaved. It was never this like the crazy shit. It was like, okay, well, now you're going to do these things and I don't give a fuck if you're upset about it. And then my mom slaves for holidays. She just busts her fucking ass and just the stress. And it's like, hi, everybody. Hey, welcome to the house. Welcome. Jay, I need you to go do this. Okay. Yay, everyone. And it's like trying so hard and it's appreciated, but you can see that performance here of like, I wonder, am I somehow Michael Dougherty? Just, I haven't become him yet.
Hopefully.
It's like a weird time to it. Like, what is that? Memento? The Nolan movie?
Yeah. I don't see the connection, but sure.
That's whatever.
All Christopher Nolan movies are about time, by the way.
No.
They are.
Not The Dark Knight.
And it's about time.
Okay.
In this essay.
No.
So Max's sister Beth is played by Stefania Levi Owen. She was in Peter Jackson's The Lovely Bones in 2009. She is in The Carrie Diaries, which was the Sex and the City like TV show.
Okay.
Like I think it's a prequel series. And then she was in the Netflix series Sweet Tooth that was based on the comic book with the kid with the antlers.
Oh, right. Okay. The only thing I know about that is they said it was produced by RDJ because it was like a big tag. Is like produced by Iron Man. And it's like, well, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
She's fine. She's in this movie very little.
She's used very little.
One of my favorite things about her though is that during that opening sequence in the slow-mo when the kids are fighting, she has her phone up and she's filming it. You see her face and she's just like covered in glee. She's like, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah.
It's great.
In this opening little exchange here, Charlie Brown is mentioned.
Yes.
Which Charlie Brown was also mentioned as in Trick or Treat. Because Charlie Brown has those holiday specials that everybody watches. It's another tradition, and that's something that I think Dougherty is digging into here again, is when you don't follow family traditions for the holiday, bad things can happen.
Yeah. A robot comes to life and stabs you in the spine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Is that what happened to you?
No.
Oh.
No. God happened to me. We also meet Tom's mother in this scene, who they refer to as Omi, which I think is like a German sort of...
German for grandmother.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. And she's wonderful.
Yes.
She is so good in this movie.
Omi is played by Krista Stadler. She's an Austrian actress, and she has been doing German films since the 1960s. But I will not go through her entire filmography and butcher a bunch of names for you.
Fair enough. I'll give you a couple. Schnitzel. Bratwurst. That's what you do when you're going to pretend that you speak another languages. You just say foods.
Yeah, I loved her in Bratwurst.
But the sauerkraut was too much.
Yeah.
The movie doesn't work without her.
No.
She is our she's our exposition. She is our like tone setter. And even in this beginning, it's like she's baking Christmas cookies and she just seems like stressed.
Yeah.
And you find out obviously that it's because of Krampus, but the one of my favorite throwaway lines here as well, because it's a good facial performance on her part, is Tom walks in and he's like, oh, these are really great, Mom, but don't work too hard. I mean, Sarah got some cookies at the store. And Omi's like, what the fuck? I've been in here all day. I've been fucking Sound of Musicking all these goddamn I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but she was doing it to those cookies. She's making about curtains.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. Max chats with her about still believing in Santa, still believing in the holiday traditions, and the true spirit of the season. And we get she asked him, have you finished your letter to Santa? Because like you said, he loves Christmas and he still believes in Santa. He is writing a letter like he does every year. And he's still just trying to hold on to the magic of that.
Yeah. which is fine and cute, but he as an actor is like, it's the one weird thing with this movie where it's like he's too old for any of this to feel like he needs to be a few years younger, I think.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the point. Is
Okay,
like,
yeah.
like
His like cousins make fun of him for it and whatnot. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
And I don't know, I don't know exactly when like it fell off for me, like the whole Santa thing. But I know my mother tried to keep it alive for much longer than
Fair enough.
like we believed. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was just something to do with like the magic of the holiday and just trying to keep that alive a bit.
I know that we do to an extent, Belle and I know that we try a little bit. It's at this point, it's starting to end. I think it's just sad.
Mm-hmm.
It is going through it in real time right now. It's sad. When it went away for you, that's sad. I remember that being a negative experience in life. It's like the magic's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great family. Christmas is always going to be fun. I'll be 60 and I'll look forward to this day forever. Well, in 60 it'll be like the water wars or whatever, but you know what I mean? It's just a thing of like, you want to cling to that thing that makes this not just a day. It makes it special. And that is probably the most believable part of this movie to my mind, is like, and the parents don't really care, but Omi does. And her trying to just keep this fire going for him. And you find out later that it is not just for like a family reason. It is it is life or fucking death. But no, I love this opening. The other thing that's mentioned is when he asks about Charlie Brown, Tom says, well, you need to hurry because the other family's going to get here any minute. And that's when we meet the other family.
Yes. So Sarah's sister, Linda, is played by Allison Tolman. She was in The Gift, a psychological thriller from 2015. She's in a thriller from 2017 called Barracuda. And she's in The Sisters Brothers, which was a Western, I believe.
Western, like Utah? Because the Sisters Brothers sound like, I don't know why. It's like Sisters Wives.
Yeah.
Like a Freddy Krueger situation.
I don't know what it was. I'm sure she's been in other things. Those are the like few kind of genre things I can find her from. Her husband, Linda is Sarah's sister. She is married to Howard Jackson Sr., who is played by David Koechner. He was in Snakes on a Plane in 06.
I didn't know that.
He's in Final Destination 5. He is in Piranha 3 Double D. And he was in The Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
He's also, like how Adam Scott is in Parks and Rec, he is also in an NBC mockumentary show. He's Todd Packer in The Office.
Yes.
Yeah.
They show up with their kids, Howie Jr., Stevie, Jordan, baby Chrissy, their dog Rosie, and Aunt Dorothy. Aunt Dorothy played by Conchata Ferrell, who was in Edward Scissorhands.
What?
She's one of the salon ladies.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, okay.
And then she was in Mr. Deeds in 02. That's where I probably know her from, those two films first. She was also in Frankenweenie. She does a voice in that. So I guess she's worked with
Burton a couple times.
Yeah. And then, like you said, she is probably most famously, and for the most amount of time, she was in 2.5 Men.
I think she's in 2.5 Men for every episode from its beginning to its end.
Yeah. She's great. She has since shortly, I don't know how many years after this, passed away.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a shame. She is wonderful. She is the comedy of this movie. Even having David Koechner in it, who is an incredibly funny man.
Yes.
Adam Scott is incredible. They're all funny people, but she gets to be funny in this. And oh my God, she doesn't play it funny at all. Yeah. She plays it like trash, and it just makes it funny.
Yeah. Every line is a one-liner.
Yeah. And that is the juxtaposition. These are the Cousin Eddie to Chevy Chase's Griswolds. These are if Tom's family is wealthy and put together, these characters, the Jacksons, I guess, are trash.
Yeah.
They are. He drives a big Hummer. He's got a bunch of guns. They are not wealthy. There's several lines about that. They have many more kids. They brought the dog. They brought the aunt who came from the trailer. Like, it is that defining difference between them that creates the tension, creates the dynamic. And to do the fucking National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation dynamic in this horror movie is inspired.
Yeah. And it plays into that whole thing of like this first act is all just we're doing a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So they show up. We begin having dinner. Howard picks on Tom for being an Eagle Scout, but that leads to Tom, having survival skills.
Yeah.
So these last few movies that we've talked about have really like with Trick or Treat and with Thanksgiving in this, I think are super, super tightly written.
Yeah.
They have a lot of setup and payoff in these little moments. But that is one. But Howard, like you said, he's a gun nut.
Yeah.
Linda and Aunt Dorothy, they pick on Sarah's cooking. There's a bunch of back and forth there of like, and it's the difference in richer and poorer people and well, you don't have to make all these fancy foods that we can't pronounce.
Well, I thought you'd be tired of hot dogs and like macaroni and cheese.
I was like, well, you thought wrong.
Yeah.
Which is like a good bit.
Yeah.
But it's also, it shows this divide in this family.
Also, the only hot dog that's a good thing to eat is a chili dog.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Where would you do that?
Where would I, suck the chili dog?
Yeah.
Probably outside of the Tasty Freeze.
That's the best place.
I mean, I'd do it in like a bathtub if I had to, just to hide the shame. But if I'm choosing a place, it's outside the Tasty Freeze. That's where I would suck the chili dog. Does he mean to suck the chili off the dog?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Does he like fillet it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bizarre lyric.
It's the best lyric. But yeah, they're picking on her on her cooking, and Sarah disappears into the kitchen to work on the dessert. And this is where we get the cousins here start picking on Max. Stevie is played by Lolo Owen, who was in the sci-fi thriller in 2014 called The Cure. She is the younger sister to the actress who plays Beth.
Okay.
So, and
they
once
kind of look similar.
Once you hear that, it's like, oh yeah, like the same like
freckles, the same eye shape. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, that's cute because that leads into them being related.
Yep.
But like the different. Okay, that's good casting.
Yeah, like that a lot. Jordan is played by Queenie Samuel. She was in Shortland Street for 7 episodes, and she was in something called Nothing Trivial for 5 episodes. These basically the kids have not done a whole lot of work.
And that little girl looks just like my friend Shane from middle school.
Okay.
It is uncanny.
Shout out Shane.
I don't remember his name.
Howie Jr. is played by Maverick Flack.
Maverick. Oh, that's a good name.
I don't know anything else that this person has done, but to me, he looks like the kid from Shrek Forever After who says, "Do the roar."
Yeah.
But
I
just
get that.
in real life.
That's what he did.
Mhm.
That's his other role.
Yeah. He was in that.
He was in Shrek.
So Stevie and Jordan are twins, we assume, and they steal Max's Santa list and they start reading at the table.
Yeah.
And
it is so sad.
Yeah, because the things that he's wishing for are like just for all of them to.
I want Uncle Howie's family to have a better life and like to have more blessings. And I want my dad to stay home more often. And
I want to hang out with my sister like we used to. I want my parents to be in love again.
Right. It's fucking so sad. And Stevie, as she's reading it, is reading it to be a bully. But there's that like, oh, fuck. Like, this is really nice. And like includes us and everything. And then Sarah, who's been in the kitchen, comes back out of the kitchen. Is like, who wants creme brulee? And then fucking Max leaps over the table and tackles this girl and starts beating the shit out. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's Krampus.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Also, every time that she walks out, she only does it the once, but every time I've seen it in the last week, every time Sarah walks out and says, who wants creme brulee? I always think, who wants chowder? And then everyone throws up.
See, and it makes me think of, because I think the comedy timing there, it almost seems backwards. Like you would think that the fight had already should have been that scene in Community whenever Donald Glover's character comes in with the pizzas to the apartment and like everything's on fire and like people are fighting each other and things. it seems like that. Like the fight should have already happened, and then she opens the door, and it's like, who wants creme brulee? And like the table is all destroyed.
Personally, I think it's way funnier that her entering the room with a delicious dessert is the catalyst that makes Max beat the shit out of his female cousin.
Oh no, it does work.
It's wild.
Yeah, a lot of like, I mean, physical running around this room.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great
The
stuff
parents
working
drag them away from each other.
And it's
Poor
and you start seeing those sorts of like dynamics of how they deal with their children as well as how they're dealing with each other.
Yeah, Tom seems more emotionally aware but much less patient, whereas like Howard seems more like, a wannabe drill instructor, like, hey, you know better than that. And then like they seem to be more tight-knit. They follow like sort of a codex of how their family behaves, where Tom's just not around. Like I think Tom loves his son. Is how the role is played, but he's just, I don't really know you, dude. Like, you're not around as often as I want you to be.
Yeah, which we kind of play with in the next little scene, because he has a heart-to-heart with Max, talking about having to put up with family for the holidays, even when we don't necessarily like each other or get along with each other or have things in common.
Yeah, my favorite line in this is he explains all that. Tom explains all that. And Max is like, yeah, but why? And in the most fucking Ben line ever, Adam Scott's just like, well, yeah, that's actually a good question. That's a good point. And I expect him to look at the camera. Like it's so very much Ben.
Yeah.
Benjamin Wyatt. He's married to Leslie Knope.
Oh, yeah. But eventually we get a moment where, Max is left alone, and he looks like he's going to just accept this is just how things are for the holidays, and we'll continue on like we have. And he's going to send this letter. And then he tears it up instead, and he throws those pieces out the window, and they are carried off into the winds.
But it's bizarre because they're carried out into the wind. He's looking at this Christmas letter, and he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to have my whole family get murdered. And he knows that. He tears it apart and he throws it out the window. But instead of it fluttering to the ground, it like gets sucked into the night sky, like up into the moon. And then the snowflakes started to fall.
Yeah.
Because Krampus can control the weather, because Krampus is a mutant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my headcanon.
That's good.
No, yeah. Blizzard rolls in and knocks the power out for everyone.
Yes. Now, in this overhead shot of their little neighborhood, you see streets and streets of houses, right? All the lights kick off, all the power dies, except for on theirs. Theirs is the last one. The house directly to theirs, you're looking at it, to their left. If you're standing on the front porch, it would be to their right. That house is modeled after the Amityville horror house.
That's funny.
It has like the eyeball, like the eye windows, like from the Amityville horror. The Myers house is apparently out there too.
That's fantastic. Bell Ever, the Easter egger, is that a term? Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Easter egger, pointed out to me in tonight, because I think tonight's the first time that she's ever sat down to watch the whole movie.
Yeah.
She pointed out the fact that she's like, wait, what is this movie about? And I kind of loosely explained the plot, and she's like, okay, well, back it up. And they are watching Christmas
Carol?
Yeah, thank you. Charles Dickens. And the actor playing Ebenezer Scrooge says, well, there must be a way out of this. And she's like, well, there you go. There's your theme, is that there isn't one. And I was like, oh, that's good. Because this blizzard is then the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Because
it knocks power out. It makes it impossible to leave. And they unknowingly, for now, this is it. They're trapped here. And the way this blizzard looks is great. The way it juxtaposes the moon and immediately blacks out the sky. It's terrifying. We live in Florida, obviously. And for those of you who listen to our show out of Florida, number one, how and why. But number two, you may not be as familiar with hurricanes, because it's very similar.
Yes. Watching this tonight, it was like, that's what it made me think of. The day after a hurricane, the power's been knocked out, and you're just having to sit around with the people in your household and just look out the window and go, well, how long is this going to take?
I can't remember the last storm because the last few storms that have really been big that have hit us pretty hard have been in the nighttime, like overnight. But I remember being young and having a hurricane. I can't remember the name of it, but having a hurricane roll in during the day, and you could just look into the horizon and see it. And it is one of the most jarring and surreal and terrifying things in the world because the wind is already howling. It's already pouring rain, but you can see that wall of black and it is moving so fucking fast. And that's what this reminded me of. It is that overwhelming source of nature. Turns out, though, this source of nature is a spooky goat wearing a costume.
Yeah.
Which sounds ridiculous, but in this movie, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like the fact that is something that Krampus can just do is horrifying.
Right. Yeah. When you think of it that way, it is. What kind of goat walks on its hind legs?
The kind of goat that wears a face.
Max has a little advent calendar that he opens to tell us that it's December 23rd,
which is very good. It's what a great way to keep track of the days. In a weird way, it's not dissimilar from Halloween Ends because that gives you a good punctuation to where you are in the storytelling. And so I love this little advent because it's a more visual way than just a black screen with white letters.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yeah. He notices this snowman that's out in their yard.
Uncanny Valley. Because it seems like a regular snowman, but like the smile is like melted. Oh, it's horrible. I hate this.
I love the snowman designs in this. They make me think of Calvin and Hobbes, the comic strip, because he always made like crazy snowman design.
It reminds me of like a mannequin.
Yeah. Because it looks unnatural. And that's what I mean by like all of this being on a soundstage works to the film's point.
Sure.
Like, because like we are now in a fantasy realm, if you will.
Yeah.
Things don't look exactly how they should.
No,
they look just off enough to go, well, what is that and why is it there?
Why is it there now? Because that's the other thing is that everybody's having a conversation about like power, and Howard has a good line here. Howard Sr. has a good line here where he's like, and no food. And Sarah's like, well, we have plenty of leftovers, Howard. And he's like, all right, beer it is. Because like that's been like that whole family has spent the entire evening just bullshitting and making fun of Sarah's food.
Yeah.
But then Max comes in. He's like, Mom, Dad, there's a snowman out front.
It's like, yeah, who cares?
And he's like, no, but you should come fucking look at this thing.
And I love that as well because it's one of those things that kind of tells, as the movie goes on and things get worse and worse and worse, more and more snowmen begin gathering outside.
Yeah.
And they begin moving toward the house when we're not watching.
Now, okay, here's an interesting thing. Do you take that as that the snowmen are also alive, that they're living creatures? Or do you think that like the elves, the dark elves that are creating them, do you think they're fucking with the family and making more and more and pushing them closer?
I think they're more living things.
Okay.
To me.
See, I took it as the second. And when we deal with Howie Jr., I'll get into why. But especially because they like the elves are shown like hiding behind the snowmen. I think it's just a way for them to fuck with the family even more.
Yeah.
To feel more surrounded.
I think it works either way.
Yeah.
I like in Doctor Who, there are the weeping angels who can only move when you're not looking. And so I think like that's a terrifying concept.
Yeah.
It's something that also plays into The Shining. Not so much the movie, but the book and the Mick Garris television miniseries version plays with it a little bit. Instead of a hedge maze, which is in the film, the Kubrick film, they are animal topiaries that begin moving when you're not looking.
That's awful.
So it's things like that that may or may not be a reference, or just that's what it makes me think of. I like how they kind of quickly go through, like, they're looking out the window at the snowman and they're also noticing like, well, it's not just us, the other neighbors, their power seems to be out as well.
Right.
And then they quickly rattle off of just like how alone they are, because it's like, nope, they're on vacation. Nobody else is around here.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for us to go, like within walking distance for help.
their daughter is like, well, I'm going to go to Derek's house. I haven't heard from him. It's not that far. And Tom and Sarah, being terrible parents in this moment, are like, okay, but be safe. And it's like, what? No, there's a blizzard.
Yeah.
Why would you let her go out?
Yeah, it is a bit of like the plot necessitates her leaving.
Well, they're also absent.
Mm-hmm.
They're wealthy, affluent people that are, she's more involved in the appearance and he's more involved in the money, but neither of them are involved with the family. So they're like, fuck it, go. And boy, oh boy, should she have not done that.
Yeah. There is a delivery person from DHL that shows up to deliver some things. And whenever they get those packages from him, there's another like big holiday sack that's just been left on the doorstep, which at this point doesn't have any sort of explanation.
No. And this is one of those lines that I was talking about where Howard is like, oh, great. Yeah. You know, why is it that rich people always get a bunch of stuff? And then out of nowhere, Linda's like, probably a bunch of Democrats. And it's like, yo, what? That's fucking wild. That's a really good line.
Yeah.
Because we do. Us Democrats, we get, I mean, well, I'm not saying anything. Hypothetically, if we were Democrats and, I don't know, played Magic the Gathering, we'd get a lot of free stuff, obviously.
Yeah, that's how it works.
But not healthcare.
No. You know what the best healthcare is?
Dying.
Omi making hot chocolate for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna warm them up.
I know. And the way she says it with that accent, it's like, oh, I bet that's so fucking good.
And the fact that she makes it on an open fire in the fireplace.
Well, and that's the other thing is that Omi's got an open fire going. And that becomes very important later on because it's like Sarah keeps telling Max, like, can you get your grandmother away from the fire? Which is kind of rude, kind of ageist. She's plenty capable of making a fire. We stand an Omi fire in this podcast.
Yeah.
It is such a like foreshadowing thing that just doesn't even matter at this point.
Yeah, you don't clock it at all.
But on rewatches, it's like, oh, that's the very first thing she did. Yeah.
We follow Beth here as she goes, she treks out into the blizzard to her boyfriend's house. She's hearing like sleigh bells and she hears and sees something land on the roof of the neighbor's house.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And it has like 4 feet long curved horns.
Yeah.
And man, they played so well with his silhouette.
Yeah. It's because this is as close as we kind of get to the like the poster for the movie where he's on the house.
Or like his shadow in like the little kind of 3D animated Omi monologue. And we will get into his appearance. I think the best time to talk about it is when you really see him. Yeah. But even this is just sinister
because it's like that's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah. And it's like if only you knew. If only you knew how like nothing you'd ever seen before he truly is.
Yeah.
Spectacular. The way they tease him throughout. I love that. I love that.
Because it is that thing of like you get the big payoff.
Yeah.
Of really kind of peeling back the hood and see
literally, yeah. A lesser movie would have done two things. A lesser movie would have had him be much more exposed from the jump instead of seeding him along. And another thing, a lesser movie would have made him look like the goat with like the smile and the red eyes and whatnot. When on Letterboxd, I looked up Krampus to find this movie, and there's a million movies now, and they all look like shit because he looks like shit. But the decisions they made about the way he looks are just so fantastic.
And it's all practical, baby.
Yeah.
I love the way that this is all shot because I know I keep harping on it being on a soundstage, but it's like the houses that you see lined are not full-size houses. They're like a third, and then you're shot from like a specific perspective, a forced perspective to make them appear like full-size houses.
Sure, yeah.
But then like the houses themselves, some of them, if they were going to be further back, they're not even like detailed and built out. They're like just the frame, and then they had almost like printed canvas of what the front of the houses and the side of the houses looked like, that was there, and then they put ice and stuff on that because at the distance you can't tell the difference between a flat surface and a not flat surface.
Fantastic. But your brain can, and because the outside, that feels like a soundstage, but it feels, because I agree with you, I'm fine with the soundstage when it feels surreal, because it does, man. It's weird.
Well, and it also gives them like full control of what's going on. And when you're playing with the amount of like snow, you know, because all this is fake snow here, but it's like they have a whole bunch of different ways of creating that snow. They need to have the control there.
Yeah.
Also, it means that they don't have to be in
sub-zero fucking temperatures.
Exactly.
All the time, yeah.
So she sees this thing, she runs, it follows, it's jumping rooftop to rooftop. Now, obviously, this is a, you know, digital Krampus here. It's not every single thing is practical, but
the one thing that is practical is the camera shake.
Yes.
Every fucking time he lands, you hear his hooves thud and you get that little camera bounce, and it's like the impact tremor of that. It feels so weighty. It feels so, I said it feels menacing. It's great.
Well, and it feels otherworldly because something that size shouldn't be able to move like that.
Shouldn't be able to fly. Yeah.
You brought up like the sound design in this movie is some of my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Like just the Foley work whenever you get to any of the creatures, the way that they move, those little sound effects.
Like even in this
fantastic
scene, as he leaps, you hear the wind rush, you hear the jingling of chains and bells, and then when he lands, it's hooves. It sounds like the clip clop.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, it shouldn't sound like that.
She finds the DHL delivery truck. The driver is like frozen there, and so she climbs under it to hide, and those hooves land and then walk around the truck. So it's like he knows where she is.
He watched her, yeah. He sees her when she's hiding, and he knows when she's dead because he killed her.
But it's to your point and to this theme that runs through the whole thing, he is playing with her.
Yeah,
like
he's having
the
fun.
whole thing is a game.
He's you fucked up. You embarrassed your brother. Fuck you.
And so after he circles, he leaves, he jumps away, and then she hears the like tinkering of a music box, of a Jack in the Box.
My favorite monster in the entire movie.
Yes. Now, do you think that this is the same clown Jack in the Box? You think that he starts this small, and once he eats her, he begins getting larger?
Blink and you miss it. When the box opens, you see just the tiniest bit. It is the mask.
Yeah.
It is this monster that they call Der Clown, and its head pops out, and it is itty bitty. But something about it that we don't see because we cut back to her perspective and she looks. Great reaction shot. She starts screaming, and then it cuts up to the top of the van, and the van starts rocking. And it's like, oh,
and you should not come a knocking.
No, yeah, because that clown is fucking no. We don't see what happens, but then we know where the clown goes. Oh my god, Weta worked on Dune, so they know how to make a sandworm.
Yeah,
because the clown is a sandworm.
It's funny that you say that, because whenever I hear whenever they trek out into the snow later, and you hear the whatever it is underneath the snow that gets Howard, you hear like the almost rattlesnake sound. And I always think of the Beetlejuice snake whenever he becomes a snake.
Yeah,
that's what I imagine is under there.
Okay,
but Beetlejuice also has sandworms just like Dune.
Yeah, well, and you know what's funny is that Beetlejuice isn't a bad pull for monster design, because this stuff is so familiar and just so otherworldly at the same time.
And that is something that they were really trying with this. Dougherty quotes, like he wanted to make something, you know, along the lines of like Gremlins, which is a Christmas movie as well, but then also like Poltergeist, you know, the family dynamic of that, and then taking into a dark place where they're attacked by a bunch of different creatures.
Yeah. Her being the first kill is surprising. Young girl, the younger sister, there's already a death, and it's it being off camera is fine for me because it continues to say, if the movie always did off camera shit and never revealed anything and it was always from the shadows, this would be annoying, but it's seating it along.
Yeah, and then again, it's because Dougherty did the same thing with Trick or Treat. Like all the kills, all the gore and anything like that pretty much all happens off camera because you don't necessarily need it.
No,
and this is, I mean, even a step behind, you know, away from that because it's PG-13 originally. Because it's not about that. You can do just as much. You get the feeling of it all, and the fact that, like in Trick or Treat, we're establishing very early here, we're killing kids in this movie. Like kids are dying.
Yeah. And then with adults, eventually the people stuck in this house namely Tom, realizes, oh, my kid's not back. So I need to go figure out where the fuck she is.
Yeah, Max kind of points that out to them as Tom and Sarah are having a kind of a moment, as a man and wife of just like, how are we stuck in this position? And like, I miss us. And it's like, it's those little things that kind of go through the movie where Max might be getting his wish of like his parents falling in love again, that sort of thing. But in this, Tom then gets with Howard and is like, let's get in your Hummer. Let's drive down there, get Beth from her boyfriend's house, and then let's just do a lap, see what we can find, see if we can find some help and figure this out.
Yeah.
And so they go out into the snow after Omi begs Tom not to go.
Yeah. And Tom is like, it's the first time we hear him speak German. She speaks German throughout most of the film.
Yeah.
She says very few lines in English. She has a monologue in English, but most of her dialogue is in German. But he speaks German to her and he's like, I'm going to be fine. Don't worry about it. He's not fine. This scene is fine.
Yeah.
It serves as a, this is happening all over this area right now. They get there.
The one thing I'll mention in the naughty cut, there's an additional little sequence when they're in the truck, when they're in the Hummer, they turn on the radio and there's like a blizzard announcement for all these different counties in the area and things like that. Warren Valley, Ohio is mentioned. Warren Valley is where Trick or Treat takes place. Not a real place, but that is mentioned.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Your town gets trick or treated and then next it gets Krampus, dude. Fuck that. I don't want my zombie kids and my fucking goat demon at the same time. It's crazy.
Hanging out with John Carver. And anyway,
it's like that place has it so much worse than Haddonfield. Haddonfield's like, an entire police department dies once every like fucking 10 years or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we have literal demons every holiday. Our Easter is insane. Because Jesus killed.
Tom and Howard find a abandoned snowplow, and that's when they grab the guns and head into Derek's house.
Yeah. They find the fireplace has been like smashed. Howard says a gas line blew, which doesn't make any sense because you can see the brick behind it, and it's clearly the human knee jerk to just explain away things with what we can understand. But it looks like something very big went down the chimney.
Well, as well as they notice these huge hoof prints in the snow there.
And you made this joke earlier, but Tom physically says, what kind of goat walks on its hind legs?
Yeah.
Like, how would you know that? Because the Eagle Scouts. There it is.
We get as we're kind of cutting back and forth between them and Sarah and Linda, they share kind of a nice little moment here as they're talking about the Christmas tree, the angel topper that they have there. And we get more of that, like, they literally say it. The grass is always greener, sort of like you seem to have the perfect family, but like really it's not. And like, no, you seem to, your family actually seems to get along where mine doesn't. Like, but this scene is extended a lot more in the naughty cut with more dialogue here. And I think I enjoy that more. Both of these little additions, because we get a little bit more with the Tom and Howard relationship and them kind of like coming together, and then the two sisters kind of having this moment and building that bond there.
Yeah.
Howard once they notice these goat prints.
Yeah, the oddities that have taken place in this house, they're like,
they begin
we should
hearing
get the fuck out of here.
And they begin hearing what sounds like Beth screaming outside in the snow.
Chasing her out into the snow accomplishes exactly two things. One, nothing. And two, they realize that the Hummer has been absolutely catastrophically destroyed.
Yes.
It is torn to shreds and on fire.
Yeah.
They name it, what does he name it?
Lucinda?
Lucinda, that's right.
Howard is like grabbed by something in the snow and he's thrashed around. This shot where he's pulled through the snow back and forth reminds me of the opening sequence of Jaws, where she's pulled back and forth by the shark.
Yeah.
He's almost pulled under, but then Tom shoots at the thing through the snow. I love the little reaction shot from Howard as like Tom like tries to pull him up and then grabs the gun and like points it at him. And it's just like, Tom?
Why? And he's like, trust me, I know about Dune. You're better off dead. You didn't walk arrhythmically.
Yeah, walk without rhythm.
Yeah.
Don't
let them get them.
But yeah, they rush back to the house where everybody had just like heard the gunshots happening. They send all the kids into the kitchen with Aunt Dorothy and Omi. And Tom and Howard are trying to explain what they have witnessed to the rest of them. Because it is, you look for those reasons of like, well, it can't be this. There has to be an explanation.
The thing I think breaks that of there has to be an explanation is Linda looks at Howard and goes, well, let's just take the truck and we'll go as far as we can. And he's like, it is destroyed. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck would have done that?
Mm-hmm.
And that their belief in the reason around them starts to crumble.
Yes. And you see that. This is the scene that I'm most talking about with Adam Scott's performance. He goes over to the fire and just that like realization on his face of like, I think this is real. Like, I think we are really in something here and I don't know what to do.
Right.
And so he's like, oh, I think we just need to stay where we are and barricade the house.
Yeah. They board the windows. They board the doors. And this is where you kind of at dinner, Howard says a shepherd has to protect his flock.
Mm-hmm.
Here they're assigning essentially a night watch. And that is the decision that's made is he's going to take first watch. And I love this because he says it again. Shepherd has to protect his flock.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire is burning because that's what Omi says is you need to keep the fire warm. And she keeps saying this stuff kind of cryptically.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Max asks at one point of like, Omi seems weird. And Tom's just like, yeah, she's always weird around Christmas.
Yeah. And then I love this cut because it's him awake and the fire's going and then immediately cuts. He's dead asleep. Everyone's dead asleep. Moonlight is peering in through all the barricades and the fire is fucking dead.
Yeah. The fire is going out. And I love, because I think this is really just a creepy little thing where, I don't know if it's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas or if it's Silent Night, but the baby was watching like a video on the iPad, and that there's a song that's playing, and it finally pushes in past all their sleeping bodies onto the iPad, and you see the 1%, and the iPad dies.
Right.
And as soon as that happens, the fire goes out, and then they descend upon the house. You immediately hear noise on the roof.
Something that I think is funny, by the way, is that it looks like the movie with the elf who's a dentist, like the Rankin Bass movie.
Yeah.
But they're like, and Jesus died for your sins. And it's like super religious coded.
It's the speech that Linus gives in the Peanuts Christmas special, but from an elf like that looks stop motion, like from the Rankin Bass thing. So yeah, it's like a mashup there. Because I do love that. And a giant hook descends into the fireplace.
A hook that you would use to fish for Leviathan.
Yeah.
It is huge. And connected to it is a little gingerbread man.
Yeah.
And I love it because he's like Spec Ops. It's like Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. And I'm just going to be rude here.
Yeah.
The fat, ugly kid, Howard Jr. wakes up. It's like, that is what I mean when I say everyone was cast perfectly. Because they were like, well, we just need some fat, ugly kid who looks stupid. And they found this kid. And
they have one in Trick or Treat. They got one here.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know which one I hate more. Howie Jr. I fucking hate his face.
Yeah.
He's got like the dumb mouth breathy face.
Yeah.
But he walks up to this gingerbread man and the gingerbread man is like talking or is like he was just like going like, meow, 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 and then he stops. Howie Jr. takes a bite out of his head and then he springs to life and looks up at the piece missing and he's like, ah! He's like, what the fuck did you do? Oh, it's so funny.
Do gingerbread men live in homes made out of their own flesh?
Shit. I've never thought about that. I don't know if that's a meme or something, but that's terrifying.
But yeah, this gingerbread man, he wraps Howie up and starts pulling him up with the big hook.
Yeah. Now this is the important piece. There's two important pieces. First important piece is they get him. The only thing left to Howie Jr. is a fucking shoe.
Yeah.
Falls down and hits his dad on the head. That's the only thing. But the other thing that's important is that Sarah was trying to drag him down and out of the fireplace, and she sees that the gingerbread men are alive. and it fucking like shatters her world.
Yeah.
And she like stumbles back and is like just wide-eyed looking at everything in the house. Like, well, what the fuck else is alive?
Yeah. This performance here from Toni Collette is amazing.
Yeah.
And from here on out, like now that the turn has happened and she begins, it's like, we've said it. The performances are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Here.
They're all good. They're all nuanced. It's the reason the movie works.
In this struggle, everybody is woken up. A log gets knocked out and burns the Christmas tree down.
Max gets the fire extinguisher and puts
There's a lot
it
of
out.
chaos.
Yeah.
And this is where Omi gets to tell her tale.
The Krampus monologue.
And we get this out of nowhere, this incredible animated sequence.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Tales of the Three Brothers from Harry Potter, the Deathly Hallows.
It's all it made me think of the entire time. Yeah. It's the use of like shadowy figures and
they
whatnot.
They look almost like
stick puppety.
Yeah. And then it also is a bit like the flashback school bus massacre scene in Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Like it's this one moment that kind of like takes us away from the main narrative to explain a backstory, and then we come back to this.
Yeah. Her performance is so fucking good.
Yes. But yeah, she tells the story. It's what we use for our clip basically of why she is the way she is around the holidays, because this is something that happened to her family ages ago. And she was left as a reminder of what happens whenever, you stop believing in the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. I think a line that foreshadows the ending of this movie and the coolest line in the entire movie, he gave to punish, not to reward. He is to give, he is to take, not to give.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you have to understand that to understand the way this movie ends, and also to understand like the lesson is that Krampus is not a being of reason, is not a being of mercy. He is the shadow of that. He is the antithesis of being able to be reasoned with, to find mercy from. He's not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
It also changes it from being a silly Christmas thing to you do not understand the thing that we have let loose into this world. And it's like, oh, is he an actual demon? Like, and then, it's very quickly revealed that he's an actual demon.
Yeah. And she was left with this little jingle bell that she now has.
Yeah.
Kind of proving her story. Howard gives this line of, she'll be yammering about some rabid Easter bunny next, which I can only hope is a little tease to a future holiday horror film that Michael Dougherty might make about Easter.
Yeah. But it's a period piece.
Yeah. I doubt it, but I can hope.
We could all hope.
Howard doesn't believe any of this. And
no,
so
he gets mad.
Yeah.
Which is a super believable experience. He's like, okay, I just got bit by something out there. The world is falling apart outside, and we're listening to
my son was just taken.
Right. And we're listening to this bullshit. But Sarah, notably, is like not reacting to any of this because she knows now that that Omi is telling the truth and that he is overreacting.
But he rushes outside into the snow, and he finds
my favorite prop in the entire movie. He finds a snowman of his son. They turned his son into a snowman. Oh, and it's all ugly and shitty and fucking like pouty, and it's just so fucking funny.
He's like, do the roar.
You know who else that kid was? That kid was Augustus Gloop.
Yeah.
Yeah, those three things.
He dies horribly in every movie he's in.
Sarah.
Sarah.
He gets stuck in a chocolate tube. He gets stuck in a snowman.
And we have to assume that Shrek killed him.
The donkey made him into waffles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Delicious. Sarah, takes kind of control of the situation, slams the door. They start a fire again. We get another little advent calendar, December 24th.
And this is when all fucking hell begins to truly break loose.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is already now crazy. There's a gingerbread man has kidnapped a child and killed him and turned him into a snowman. That's the other thing is when Howard goes outside and finds the Howie snowman. There are like like wolf eyes that are giggling
Yeah.
and laughing and poking out from behind these fucking
dark
snowmen.
figures. Yeah.
Because there's also like a dozen snowmen now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they are just trying to keep their shit together.
Yeah, trying to keep their spirits up. In the naughty cut, we get an additional scene, a little snippet here where Max shares some of his candy from his Halloween stash to his cousins. And we see a bunch of the candy types from Trick or Treat,
including the jack-o'-lantern
lollipop.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And Sam's severed fucking head is in there too.
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want. If you haven't seen it, you don't know.
Get out there and see the naughty cut.
The list is in there. Michael Dougherty, please release the list. Somebody.
That's what Krampus is trying to do.
That's what Krampus' list is. Fucking Santa has the naughty nice list, and Krampus has the Epstein files. Oh Jesus! Krampus, you have the opportunity to do an amazing thing this year.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pulling it together, guys. Tom and Sarah are talking about kind of what she saw in the chimney, and they're trying to figure out what to do.
I love this line so much because he says, "What did you see in the chimney?" And to like codify if she should talk about it, she's like, "Answer me a question first. Do you believe Omi's story?" And Tom's like, "I am starting to. Yeah. What did you fucking see?"
Yeah, because eventually in any of these sorts of movies, like you have to start taking it seriously.
There is the break, and you go, "No, it's real. Whatever this is, it's real now." And no matter how reality shattering this is, we need to survive from it. And I love the way they handled that. And with these two characters, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. Linda is like trying to salvage what's left of the like burnt presents that were under the tree.
Yeah.
And at one point she like picks up a box that she doesn't remember like wrapping or anything. And there's like noise coming from inside of it.
Like rattles. Yeah.
And she starts to open it. And then Tom and Sarah are like, "Hey, can you meet us in the kitchen right now?
Get Howard and come in here. Yeah, we need to talk to you."
And so they do that. The adults go in there and they get out a map and actually begin a plan to get to the snowplow and then take that to go for help.
At the mall. Yeah. Now, something I love about this is that what a red herring plot point. Because they talk about this for a while. They talk about this multiple times and it leads to nothing. They never do anything about this until the very end. And they make it to the snowplow and that's it. Like this plan is terrible. It comes to zero. It has zero meaning in the movie's actual, like what happens.
Right.
It just gets them outside.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like
an hour later.
Right. It's like the MacGuffin to get them there. But yeah,
it gets them nowhere. And they only do it as a last ditch effort. Yeah.
Max, again, seeing more and more of these snowmen crowding the house, but he also spots Krampus for the first time for him across the street on the roof.
I love this so much because he wipes his eyes for a second and he looks again and there's nothing. But then he turns and looks at Omi and Omi's like, "No, bro, you just saw him."
Yeah.
Like, "You just saw him, little bro. He's out there. He's horny."
Yeah, because of the ones on his head.
No, he's sex nuts.
Oh, God. Max, run.
He just got done stuffing those gingerbread men up his butt.
Max has a little moment with Omi here where he's like, I think this is my fault what's happening.
Yeah.
Because Jordan and Stevie, they were asking Omi, like, is there anything that they can do to kind of save themselves? And she's like, no. Like, being good, doing those little things here and there, leaving out, cookies and milk, that's not going to fix anything. It's what you believe and what you do in your heart.
Yeah. I also like this line because she says whatever. And they're like, "Well, what does that mean?" And
Aunt Dorothy
is like, "It means we're fucked." I'm old enough to know when someone is saying that. And that's exactly what she's saying. And apparently she responds with, because she nods and smiles. Omi does, and she responds with something in German. And I looked it up because I was curious about what she says.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "No, we are doomed,"
Mm.
and that is like, why are you laughing when you say that? Cold ass shit, Omi. You're cooler than hell.
But the girls, Jordan and Stevie, they go upstairs to use the bathroom. And for the second time, I believe, we start hearing noises coming from the attic stairs that sounds like Beth calling to them.
Right.
Which is this, I mean, when you really start thinking about that, is terrifying.
It's sinister.
Of these things have killed Beth and are kind of using her voice.
Assumedly eaten her
Yeah.
whole. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was my other question is once we see the size of this thing, and he's swallowing the second child, you think Beth's still in there?
No, I think she's become basically digestive soup if he hasn't shat her out. What is it? Does he shit snow? Does he turn like biological matter into snow?
Yeah, that's probably it.
It's fucking metal as hell.
But
They hear screaming.
Yeah.
And so Tom, Sarah, and Linda, Tom turns to Howie, whose leg is really fucked, and is like, stay here. And the three of them, run up into the attic to try to figure out what's going on.
I love that, like, in this moment, Sarah grabs, like, a fire axe.
Mm-hmm.
Tom has his
revolver.
Technically, Linda's revolver from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Linda, like, arms herself with. I think she just goes.
She's got a hat. But the thing I like here is that you split now into two very distinctive looking and very different pieces of action, but they are a floor apart from each other. It's the same place.
Yeah,
and I really like that.
I guess we'll go through the upstairs stuff first. They make
you have several things
because they go upstairs into the attic and they find this giant jack-in-the-box creature that is swallowing the last little bit of Jordan.
Yeah, it's her fucking boots are sliding down his mouth. To describe this thing, because I think this is one of the coolest looking monsters of all time. It is a jack-in-the-box that out of it, like a normal size jack-in-the-box, that out of it is this massive, like a cat tunnel or like the Coraline tunnel, like just this massive fabric stretched over a spiral of spring, like a jack-in-the-box is connected to. The body is the size of a person's body. And then it's wearing this white mask and like this clown two-springed hat with bells. And the mask splits like predator mandibles. And it has this giant maw of a mouth. And it blinks like a blinky doll and screams. And they, like I said, they call it Der Clown. It is the coolest fucking monster design ever. But yeah, it eats people and steals their voices.
And the other thing that's incredible about it is that it is practical.
Yes, it is a real costume.
It is brought to life by at least 3 performers in that suit. So there's a guy who is like in the front half moving the head and the arms. Then there are 2 women in the body of it who are in there just kind of they're
like undulating and like writhing.
Yeah, and one of them is almost doing yoga in the back to make the tail move in different ways, like with her arms extended up into it. And then you have other special effects people off to the side with like radio control, like you would move, a Chucky or something. And that's operating all of his facial movements and everything like that. But it's also operating the handle on the crank for the jack-in-the-box itself.
The other thing that I found amazing is that to get this person upright as though it was a serpent is they are on a rig. Like they're hooked to wires that lift them into the air and then puppet them like a marionette. It's incredible. It's the coolest fucking part of it. Outside of Krampus, it's the coolest fucking part of this movie. But yeah, it swallows the child and then immediately makes to leave.
Yeah, Tom starts blasting.
Right.
But he's a terrible shot.
Well, that is true. And they're like, let's go get him until...
I love that the clown wipes his mouth after he swallows a full child.
He's a little guy. Yeah. I love him.
He has a little handkerchief. And he's just like, well...
The handkerchief is... Like if Pennywise had a handkerchief, it would be also exclusively for child eating. Yeah.
That's a good point.
But they go to move to attack the clown when they meet the cherub.
Yeah.
Another amazing puppet.
Yeah, there's this cherub angel tree topper looking creature that's up in the rafters of the attic.
Which is funny because this is almost immediately after they're talking about the mom's angel on the tree. And then it is this wide-eyed sharp tooth. It's got like this satanic pagan symbol carved into its face. And it is a cherub angel that like raises its disgusting tattered wings and its eyes open and start rolling and it's screaming and it's like, what the fuck? They all are like, what the fuck? And then poor Sarah, it tackles Sarah and it's just like ripping her face apart.
And then while Linda and Tom try and fight that off, pull it off of Sarah,
two more enemies approach.
Tom just starts screaming, bear. Bear.
He goes, bear. Linda goes, what? And he goes, bear. And then a fucking teddy bear with like crazy. And that's the other thing. Everything has human eyes.
Yeah.
These bloodshot.
But they're too large.
Yeah. They're like bulging. These bloodshot, bright blue eyes on this teddy bear with all these fangs and these sharp little shitty claws. And it's like, and it leaps. It's very Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And it
honestly
like screeches and it jumps on her and it's biting chunks out of her arm.
And she's like punching it in the head and there's the little squeak.
Like a squeaky toy, yeah.
And then a robot creature attacks Tom from behind and starts stabbing him in the back.
Because that's the thing is like the bear is biting like holes into Linda's arm. And then poor Tom, this fucking like Tinker Toy jumps on his back and is literally stabbing him with a knife. And it's like, Jesus. So Linda's pinned down. Linda's pinned down. Sarah's pinned down. Tom is pinned down. Meanwhile, the clown has eaten this child and is like opening like an air vent to escape.
The cherub... The cherub comes down and wraps Sarah's neck in Christmas lights and begins to hang her from the cross beams in the attic.
Now, this would be, as you pointed out the first time, but what my point was is that this is 2 times in total, if you count Hereditary, where Toni Collette does weird fucking shit with her neck in an attic.
Yeah. Stay tuned for our chat on Hereditary.
In 2038.
Who knows? But I love this because it's Linda finally gets a moment of like, I have had enough of this. And she grabs like a icicle
off the attic wall, yeah.
And stabs the bear in the eye.
Which green blood comes pouring out.
And then she tosses him into the darkness. I don't exactly understand where she's throwing him because he shows up in a bit.
She throws him down the stairs.
Is that it?
Yeah, she throws him like over the banister and he tumbles down the stairs.
Okay. That makes more sense. I've just been like, I don't know where she just throws him into the dark and he's gone because then she picks up the axe.
Chops the Christmas lights hanging Sarah by the neck. Yeah.
So yeah, she gets Sarah away from the cherub.
She like baseball bat smashes the robot with the axe.
And then she chases the clown, Jack-in-the-Box, into the air duct. But she does find that Stevie, her other daughter, is still alive. And then Sarah helps Tom again with the robot. And she, whenever the robot begins to attack again, she picks up the gun and much more accurately.
Yes.
I like this distinction here. It kind of takes care of the robot problem.
Yeah.
While that is happening,
fucking Howard Sr., David Koechner, his performance is so funny. He's in the downstairs and he's hearing noises coming from the kitchen. So he takes the shotgun and he goes into the kitchen and he's like looking around. He opens a pantry door. And he turns, and there are several what look like. The first time I saw this movie, I thought it was like porcupine quills because I didn't know what kind of creatures they were. Not porcupine quills, nails shot from a nail gun by gingerbread men.
Shot from a what?
They're shot from a nail gun that they got after reading the Necronomicon, and they insanity ensues.
Yeah.
He grabs a cutting board. They fire 30 of these nails into it. They
run out. Yeah.
Then they charge him.
Well, and I love it because it gets like tactical for a second because they've like shot until they're done, and then he like takes the moment and he notices on the counter
It's like
there
a
is
lantern, yeah.
with like a gas lantern or something, and so he takes the shotgun and shoots it. And I love the difference in like perspective and things, because it's like to these tiny gingerbread men, that's a giant explosion.
Yeah, it's like a hand grenade going off.
And so they're all caught on fire and like burning and dying in the floor.
But then they boot rally and they attack him, and he's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And so he shoots one, he shoots the other, and then the third one is leaping at him
with a candy cane that has been sharpened.
Classic.
Presumably by Aunt Dorothy, as she was showing the children how to make peppermint schnapps.
Which is one of the funnier bits of this movie. Like I said, she's not played for comedy, but oh my gosh, she's so funny.
Yeah.
My favorite line of hers is they ask her to go watch the kids, and she's like, but I don't like kids. Never did, even when I was one. And that's such a good line. But they, at the last minute, as this gingerbread man has leapt, and the gingerbread men are all digital effects. Everything else in this movie is practical, almost entirely, with the exception of the gingerbread men, but they look great. But the dog, Rosie, was like an English bulldog, bites it out of the air and eats him. It's like, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, this is a funny little moment.
Yeah.
The rest of the adults come back downstairs because they hear Max screaming, and they're hearing the noises of the Jack in the Box making, like, moving around in the walls.
Yeah. Trying to, they say it's panicking and trying to get outside, which is like a nice little, like, because it's not a visual and it's not exposition, but it just makes it feel like it's real. Like it needs to be outside to survive. I just like that. But anyway, so kill count now, that's 3 kids dead.
Delicious.
A lot of dead kids.
A lot of dead kids. Max sends Rosie the dog up into the ducks to fight or take care of this Jack in the Box situation.
And it seems like it's working until it obviously eats the dog too.
And then drops down through the ceiling into the middle of the living room. Yeah. This giant thing. Howard raises the shotgun to kill it, but he is attacked by the angel. The bear shows back up and is going to go after Omi and Stevie. And then finally, Aunt Dorothy picks up the shotgun, and in this, like, you know, action movie moment,
so very John Wick coded. I know.
She shoots both the bear, which flies up against the wall, shoots the cherub, flies up against, like, it lands perfectly, smashes into a wreath that's over the fireplace.
And then I love the comedy beat of it. Slams into the wreath and then falls splat onto the ground.
And then Tom is like, Aunt Dorothy, finish it.
And she's like, with pleasure.
And she raises the gun to shoot the clown in the face. And then you hear these noises from outside. And I think this is where Omi, like, because like all the power kind of like dims some more, like, or there's a flash or something. And Omi's like, elves. And then crashing through their barricades from the front window, all these elves come in.
Now, something I pointed out is it's so sinister to have made this family think that these wooden barricades mean anything at all, but they never did. They never mattered.
Yeah.
The elves are great. All practical costumes. They're all covered in leather, and they have these really sinister masks. One of them is like the ghost face mask from, like, the parody ghost face mask from Scary Movie. It's got like its tongue out, and they're all of them though are so uncanny valley. Like one of them is like a baby doll mask. One of them is like a wooden, like it looks like Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Well, and they all have like different like pagan symbols on them and things like that. And I believe they're all kind of based on different kind of creatures from folklore.
Probably.
And they come in and they douse the fire, what's left of it. And they begin wrapping Aunt Dorothy and the clown in chains.
Aunt Dorothy, looking down at the chains, looks up at them and says, quote, "I'll see you all in hell," and then gets dragged out of there. Now, you pointed out something to me. Guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch all of this movie up until the point where Aunt Dorothy gets yanked out. Then I want you to pause the movie and I want you to go watch Bob Clark's Black Christmas and wait until Mrs. Mack, the caretaker of the sorority house, gets yanked up into the attic, because they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
And they're both alcoholics.
To the point where I wonder if it was intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's so similar.
But this is where you also get like, you even get the comedy like sound effect of like, woo!
Belle's watching from the sidelines. She goes, did they use a slide whistle?
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, they did.
One of the elves steals the baby Chrissy, who we have not talked about, but
4 dead kids.
And Howard then jumps on the Jack in the Box and is pulled outside. And there is a loud noise on the roof, and all the rest of the elves bow out and leave.
Yeah. At this point, they're all like, we need to get the fuck out of here. They grab their winter coats. They're like, let's fucking go. And as they open the door.
Oh my God, I love this. When they're standing at the door and Tom is there and he's about to open it, and he turns back around and the camera pushes in on his face, and he's just like, let's just try to hang on to each other. Like it is the last ditch effort, and he knows that.
Yeah.
And like they're just kind of screwed, man. And I don't know. I think he does an amazing facial performance there of like, we've got nothing else.
Yeah, this is it. They're all putting coats on, and the one thing I did notice is that he's basically got nothing by the front door, so he's just going bare face. Earlier in the movie, Howard holds up his hand, and he's like, "Do you see this? This is damn near frostbite after just a few minutes." And it's like, I'm not gonna make it. Like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. But they go to leave, and Max turns and goes, "Omi, Omi!" And Omi's standing inside, and she says, "Be good." And the door slams shut. She barricades herself in the house, and she waits. And then we see him for the first time. The fireplace, the wall in front of the fireplace begins to bend and crack, the drywall snapping. You see wood splinter out from where it used to sit as framework for this house. And eventually down head first, which is such a cool...
Yeah.
Like, he's not a human. He's not a man.
No, it's the most unnatural looking moving thing.
Then hooves slam down, and then it pulls itself out of the fireplace. Now, Krampus in this film, if you haven't seen him, look up a picture of him. He's fantastic. Krampus is a cloven-hooved, massive demon goat monster with like long, spindly...
Nosferatu fingers.
Yeah, with long fingernails, and he's wearing rings. He's also wearing Santa Claus robes, but that are long and ill-fitting and more like a cloak with this big fur-lined hood. And it's all covered in patchwork, and there's fur on parts of it, and all the fur is matted and filthy and disgusting. And he's covered in chains that all have these big, like, brass jingle bells on them. Derek, what would you say the most distinctive part of Krampus is?
His long tongue that he reaches out toward Omi's face with.
See, what I was going to say is that he reaches that long tongue out through the mouth of Santa Claus's face. He wears Santa's face like a fucking mask.
Yeah. Dougherty's never really explained whose face that's supposed to be.
I mean, it's an old man. The face is gaunt and starting to rot, but it's an old man's face with a long white beard and mustache. And he's wearing Santa's robes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume it's Santa's fucking face.
You have to think.
But then behind it are like these sinister, like amber goat eyes. And oh my God, everything about him is great. Like one of my favorite things to do is to look at this shelf behind me that we've posted about or whatever. But I love looking at it. And last year for Christmas, you, Alistair, and Dylan went in and you got me NECA's Krampus. And it is one of my favorite things that I own. He's just exceptional.
Yeah. I love this design. It is insane. And then what's more insane is whenever you really start to look at it and you realize that Krampus is practical and he's played by a dude.
Yeah.
Krampus is played by Luke Hawker in this movie, who does a lot of stunt work. He was in Avatar. He was in the first Hobbit movie. He plays a goblin, Desolation of Smaug. He is an elf trumpeter. There's a Netflix sci-fi horror movie that's called I Am Mother, and that's about like an android that goes bad, and he plays the android in that.
Neat.
He's in Rings of Power as an orc, and then he is Agent Murphy in Megan 2.0.
Okay.
So like he's got some acting stuff, but he does a lot of stunt work.
And like I said, he wears the suit, the stilts, the hand extenders, all of it. And then he also has a monitor that he can see through Krampus's head. Krampus's dirty, rotten, like mole near his nose is a camera. We just saw that in the special effects. It's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing. Everything about it is amazing. But to the performance, Omi is like, I have been afraid of this my entire life, and now it is standing in front of me again.
Mm-hmm.
And it reaches out, Krampus reaches out and wipes a tear away. And it's like, oh, well, maybe he's like, I remember you. And this is the first time that it's the bait and switch about what he is.
Yes.
Because he grabs that sack of toys from earlier that Howard mentions, they're Democrats or whatever.
Yeah.
And he opens it and she looks down into it with this horrified face. And then it's like a fucking nutcracker and a bunch of like children's Christmas toys. And they're all made of razor blades and terribly sharp teeth. And they come to life and she screams and it cuts back outside to the rest of the family.
And then, they're making their way to the snowplow. And
before we move on, just with this, last thing I'll note, they have seated him along for so long. Actually seeing him, oh my God, that was so worth the wait.
Yeah. The payoff there is pretty great because you see him, from a distance for so much, and then even in Omi's story, it's like he's a literal just shadow figure.
I think the only time you see him in any kind of detail up until now is when Max sees him for that blink and you miss it moment. It's my favorite monster design, I think, maybe of all time. It is incredible. But yes, that we cut out to the family.
Yep, they're heading to the snowplow through the snow, and they're attacked by the same thing that's in the snow that got Howard earlier. Tom is firing at it with the shotgun that he still has left. He sends the rest of them on without him.
Heartbreaking.
It really is.
Really amazing performance. Heartbreaking. He realizes that he can't go on to save them. Sarah realizes that he's right. They embrace, and it's that really passionate, like, I love you. I'm sorry. And she takes the kids and continues to push on. It's her, Linda, Stevie, and Max. They continue on. And he shoots at this thing that we know is the clown that is moving under the snow like a serpent.
You say it's the clown. I don't think that it is. I think this is a different thing entirely.
See, I think it's the clown, and I'll explain why. Earlier, we see it kill Beth. Then we hear Beth's voice. And then a long serpentine thing attacks Howard under the snow, bites him with massive teeth that the clown has, and tries to drag him under because it swallows them. We see it now in this moment, and it is like making that same kind of snake noise.
Yeah.
I think that the reason it's trying to get back outside when it's in the house is it wants to be in the snow.
Okay. That it can move, because that's my thing is like when he's in the house, he moves so slow.
Well, yeah, but I think that's why they drag it back outside, and like it's, Howard Jr. or Sr. is on it. And I think it's because they put it back out in the snow and it acts like a serpent.
Okay.
I think it's the clown.
Okay.
And you might be right. It might be something else entirely. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. It's one of those, I think that's one of the things, probably the first time I watched it where it was like, man, we never even get to see this thing that's in the snow.
I just think the way the clown looks, it being serpentine and the way it wants to swallow things, I think it makes sense.
You're probably not wrong. But yeah, Tom kind of quickly runs out of ammo and then is pulled under by this thing. And, the others do make it to the snowplow, and like Sarah or Linda is kind of stopped, and Sarah gets Max to the snowplow, and she goes back to save her sister.
Yeah.
She gets Stevie into the snowplow, and then watches as her sister is pulled under. And then before she can make it back up into the cab, she is also pulled under.
But she has the revelation, and you see it play out on her face because, again, Toni Collette is amazing. But you see it play out on her face of like, oh, I didn't make it in time. It's about to grab me.
Yep.
And she looks and she's like, I love you. And then just gets yanked under the snow. And it's like, oh, God.
Yeah. This, I know, like I said, it used to bother me how quickly they're all kind of dispatched by a thing we don't get to see. But now watching it and like the emotion that plays on all their faces and just the idea of, you just had to say goodbye to your husband.
Right.
You have hopefully saved your son.
But your sister just got eaten.
You watched your
moments
sister
ago.
die. And then you have to say goodbye to your kid because you know you're not going to make it either.
Yeah.
And you just have to hope that the one kid you have left makes it.
The good news is that he does.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm fucking around. No, the elves smash through the snowplow that they got him up into, and they drag
Stevie.
Yeah, they drag Stevie away, and they do get Max, and they drag him out, and Max gets to have some one-on-one time with dear Krampus.
Yeah.
Krampus is like, listen, I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
You ripped up your note. Now get into hell, you little bitch.
Yeah. It's like, that's not what you did earlier. You're trying to do my whole thing.
Yeah.
You're not Krampus. I'm Krampus.
I'm Krampus. Stop beating up kids.
Yeah.
Actually, don't worry about it because I'm going to kill you.
And very much like Omi's story, he leaves a bell for him and disappears. And we like fade to black as if this could be the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I assume the ending would be.
Because it's like, oh yeah, that's we saw it happen earlier in her tale, and okay, yeah, the same thing happened here.
But we kind of open the cinematography opens back up here because you hear Stevie screaming Max, and then it's like it's almost like he snaps out of like the oh good I made it and realizes like I can't do that to them.
He trudges through the snow and finds this like fire in the woods where they're having
carnival of madness.
Yeah, just these festivities that they're having. And he calls out to Krampus, throwing the bell back at him.
Yeah. Amazing set piece because you've got Krampus's sleigh, which looks like a demonic version of the Santa sleigh that every child in the US knows.
It's being pulled by like 4 of these giant demonic goats.
They're like goat ox beasts.
Yeah.
And then on the front of the sleigh, you have like a white marble effigy of like a screaming St. Nicholas. Oh my God, I love this movie.
All the elves, they've
built like wooden platforms. It's very orcs in Lord of the Rings. It's crazy. And Krampus
Weta just had those things lying around.
But Krampus is also just standing off to the side. Like he might as well have his arms crossed wearing like a hard hat with a clipboard. Like, no, the project's coming along. He's just like, very good job, guys. Like he seems super happy.
We were really successful this year.
Yeah, good job.
Got a couple families in the can here.
But the elves have Stevie and they're going to stab her with knives and cook her, I think.
Yeah, probably.
If I had to guess, that's what they're going to do.
They've eaten most of the rest of them.
Well, the clown's eating so many people. The elves are like, well, can we eat this kid? And Krampus is like, well, did you do the thing where you drag him out of the snowplow? And they're like, yeah, of course we did.
Yeah. Where do you think we got him?
He's like, all right, go ahead.
You can have one.
You can have one.
Max throws the bell back at Krampus and the ground cracks open and creates this like raised pit that looks down into the flames of hell.
Max gives this really heartfelt kind of monologue. Again, this kid is great. And he's like, I'm sorry. I just wanted, don't take them. Let them live. Just take me. I'm the one who fucked everything up. I'm so sorry. And he's got tears coming out of his eyes. And Krampus does the same thing he did to Omi, where he reaches down and he brushes his tear away. And this is, again, it's this Krampus came not to reward, but to fucking punish, because Krampus looks down at him, wipes his tear. And then it's just like, and all the elves start fucking cackling. They immediately throw Stevie into hell. And he's like, no, I told you to take me. And Krampus grabs Max by the fucking head, like in the skull. And just picks him up and he's holding him over the pit and he's laughing the whole fucking time.
And I love it because it's Max is just because this is not how these things go.
No, this is not the Grinch.
No,
Krampus's heart does not exist to grow.
It's another trick that is being played on both the characters and the viewers because the scene before this, it ends with like we fade to black. We think that should be the end. That makes sense. Nope. Okay, we've got more. Oh, okay. This is the thing. He's gonna make his heartfelt speech. He's gonna win Krampus over. they're going to be oh no, I guess not. Nope. He's going to be thrown into hell as well.
Well, that's the other thing is like, okay, no, maybe Krampus is like, no, I'm not going to let them go. And he throws Stevie in and he's like, you have to leave. And then he picks him up by the head and you're like, oh my God, no. And then he holds Max in front of him, like at eye level. And Max goes, I'm sorry. I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to be. And again, that means nothing.
Yeah.
He is not phased at all. He just chucks him into hell, like a burning pit.
And Max wakes up.
Well, but right before he wakes up, all the elves are like, yes,
Yeah.
child murder.
Yeah, they did a good job. They filled their quota.
They're going to wait to pick someone next year.
And our epilogue of Max wakes up in his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, maybe this is going to end like a Christmas story should, where they've learned their lesson and he wakes up the next day and he opens the last door on his little advent calendar. There's no blizzard. Power is on. He goes downstairs. His family is all in the living room and
his uncle's like, oh, there you are, kiddo. And it's like way more affectionate than he had been the day before.
There is this super slow version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas that's playing that I absolutely love.
So much of it is in minor scales. And it is really like, if you like music theory, it is like dissonant chords and it's very specifically meant to unnerve you. But you don't know that because everything is bright and it's subliminal.
Yeah, because the whole movie or the whole scene here is like shot and lit like a Hallmark movie.
Right. Where the rest of the movie has either been at nighttime or has been in the middle of a blizzard,
which
with
I
all
will
the power
say,
out.
The lighting in this movie, incredible. So much of it is like, it seems to be like lit by natural things.
Candles or the scene where the Aunt Dorothy is making peppermint schnapps with the kids. It's like there is a single lantern on the table and that is the only light you get.
Yeah.
It's great.
Looks gorgeous.
But yeah, no, they sit around on the couch. Max is very lovey. They're all giving gifts and he hugs them. And Sarah looks down and is like, what's this about? And he's like, I don't know. I'm really happy to be here with you guys and, Merry Christmas. And they're like, well, Merry Christmas, son.
Omi gives hot chocolate to everybody again.
Yeah. And then Omi hands out a gift and puts a gift into Max's lap. And how nobody realized what the fuck was happening when she hands him a gift that looks like it's wrapped in human skin or like ancient parchment paper. It's like, guys, who wrapped this one?
Yeah. Fess up. Who did it?
It's Krampus, because he opens that box and it's that motherfucking bell.
And the slow, like, dawning realization on his face. And then, like, because everybody else is still cheerful for a bit. And then Sarah notices what it is.
And her face just drops to agony.
And Tom notices what it is.
And then Omi notices and is like...
And Max, like, turns to her of just like, oh.
And she's like, yeah.
Did you not listen? I animated that whole story.
Do you have any idea how long it took me, Anthony Weta, or whatever her name is? Omi Weta?
Yeah.
Omi Weta sounds like a weird thing. But then the camera, from their horrified faces, pulls out the front window. And like 2 feet from that window, it's like the camera distorts and waves as though it's passing through water, but it's not. It's passing through a wall of glass because their home is now trapped in a snow globe. And as the camera pans out, it is a labyrinthine cellar filled with snow globes, each of which have their own home in it. And I like to think that you've got 2 ends to the Krampus story. You've got Omi's end, which is she accepts the bell, lets her family die, and she promises to be better next year. Or you have the snow globes where the kids refuse. They want their families back, that they're not going to back down. So Krampus punishes them too. And it's like, that's why this movie slots in here, by the way, because you've got Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, both apocalypse films. Next week, we're going over John Carpenter's The Thing, apocalypse film. This apocalypse film.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. Every house is a snow globe because no one believes in Santa Claus anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
Sammy Davis Claus Jr.
Yeah. I love this little ending. It's caused a bunch of theories out there of to what's actually happening and, you know, does it mean one thing or another? And I don't think that's important. I think it's one of those endings where it's like, no, it's ambiguous and we don't know.
I like to believe that it just means that they're trapped in a continuous Christmas day forever. That's they are in hell now, and they don't realize that the Christmas that they wanted back so badly, now that they've got it, it's all they have left. And it's like, it's sinister. It is a feel bad ending.
Oh yeah.
Big time feel bad ending. Last thing I'll say is that, and I've complained about this a couple times, it's a minor nitpick. It's one of the only nitpicks I have about this movie. As you pan out and you see all of these snow globes, probably 200 snow globes, there is this scene where like the teddy bear and the robot and the cherub and whatnot, they're all digital and they all jump at the camera in like a very Freddy Fazbear like thing. I don't like that. That reeks of studio.
We need a little sting here at the end.
Right. I would have so much preferred it just go to black.
Yeah.
Or I would have preferred it to go all the way out of that and then out of a snow globe. And that Krampus is in a snow globe in St. Nicholas's basement. And he is also a mad torturer, but he just tortures demons.
So okay.
St. Nicholas is a righteous crusader.
Oh, okay. I see the difference there.
Yeah. Hellboy's in a snow globe because he's a demon.
Okay. Being tortured by
Krampus.
Saint Nick or by Krampus?
It's layers. It's snow globes, it's Krampuses, and it's Santa Claus.
Layers. We were talking about Shrek earlier.
Do the snow globe.
PJ.
Yes.
Would you recommend?
Whoa. That's trippy.
Uh-huh.
Were you planning this?
Well, about what?
You've never asked me.
I know.
Okay.
No.
Oh. I think I'm getting sick. Resounding yes. Big time I recommend this movie. I think this movie is great. I think this movie is funny and quirky and zany and an actually good family drama plot on the backdrop of some of the coolest monsters ever designed. Some of the most inventive and silly kills and logic and some of the best performances and just a good morality tale. It's a tornado. It just doesn't, once it starts, it just doesn't stop. Its pacing is really well. It doesn't overwhelm you at any one time until it does right at the end. But at the end, you've already fucking seen the man himself.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, fuck. Cat's out the goddamn bag. I love this movie so goddamn much.
Yeah.
And it's a Christmas horror movie. And it's like, I love everything about it. Like, it is a classic now for a reason. There is a reason that you can buy a Freddy Krueger shirt and a Gremlin shirt and also Krampus, that it passed the bar of being one of these staples. It's because it is just that good.
Yeah. Yeah. The writing is great. It's perfectly cast. The performances that we get here are just something else. And the creature design, the fact of how practical everything is.
Yeah. Mind blowing.
And yeah, it hits it pushes all the buttons. It hits all the notes that it needs to. And I think, I don't know, I want more from Michael Dougherty.
So badly. And I want holiday shit.
Yeah. Like if that became, and I love his Godzilla film. It's my favorite of the MonsterVerse.
Yeah.
Because he truly seems like a big fan of the things that he does.
Yeah.
And it shows like a knowledge and a care for the things. And it shows in Krampus. It shows in Trick or Treat.
But he also shows to have just a love of movies, because at no point in this did he cheapen out on anything.
No.
He was like, yeah, we're going to make Krampus. I have this awesome design in mind. What if he looked like he was wearing St. Nicholas's face and just build the whole thing as a fucking puppet?
Yeah. Because
not animatronic, not a CG thing. I think the only CG part about Krampus is at one point his tongue comes out.
Yeah.
But like, who gives a shit? His eyes blink, for fuck's sake. He's a fully workable puppet. It's like a Sweetums from the Muppets. It's a puppet that you wear, and he's fucking incredible.
Yeah. I also recommend this movie. It's one that I like a little more every time I see it, because I get some other little thing out of it. I notice, some setup and payoff that I've never noticed before, or just some facial expression that I'm like, man, they're just really acting their asses off here.
I think I know the answer to this question. Which of the two of his holiday films, Trick or Treat or Krampus, which do you prefer?
I personally prefer Trick or Treat.
Okay.
I think Trick or Treat is perfect.
Up until a week ago, that would have been my answer as well. But I truly believe I think I like this movie more.
Yeah.
It is the best. It is the best Christmas horror movie that we've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, this is the second one that we've talked about on this show. We will have another one before the end of the year. But like you said, we are going into the Thing territory next week. We'll be in the snow for a little bit there.
A little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to that. But yeah, I love Black Christmas. It's another one that I think it's important in so many other ways that don't have to do with it being a holiday movie.
Yeah, no, it establishes a lot. The least important part of Krampus to me is that it's Christmas. It's the least important part. It is more about the way the family operates. And Black Christmas has almost nothing to do with the fact that it's Christmas either. This Krampus is much more plot heavy about Christmas, but thematically it's about family and it's about learning lessons too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best sort of holiday films are like that.
Yeah.
They all kind of follow that pattern, or a lot of them do.
Well, I asked earlier, do we think for our audience Black Christmas or Krampus? I guess the only other thing, and this is just a yes or no, is that if Billy from Black Christmas were to call Krampus, do you think instead of Piggy, he would ask for his goat cunt?
Yeah, probably. Who doesn't like that?
Would Krampus say yes?
Thanks for tuning into the Third Channel podcast. Please, if you have the time, rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps.
You can follow us on social media at Third Channel Podcast, and you can find me online at thatdrosenberg.
You can also reach out to us at thirdchannelpodcast@gmail.com, where we check every message we swear. Third Channel is hosted by PJ Minette
and Derek Rosenberg. Theme song and audio engineering by Fly Guy Ty.
The logo designed by Bell DeVelco.
Episode artwork by Nathan Walkington.
Keep it tuned right here to the Third Channel for all things horror. And remember, don't touch that dial.
Egg salad and eggs.